live each day of the week. Come on, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. What you waiting for? Come and take a seat. Like and subscribe, this is where you wanna be. Cause you know we gon' talk about it. Let's talk about it. Get in here, we in here tonight. So get in here, we in here to vibe.
Hello. Hey, everybody. It's Amora, your host for the Talk About It with Amora show. Sorry, I am late. Totally my fault. How's everybody doing today? Hope you guys are been enjoying your Monday so far. Lord knows I have. Big shout out to my members out there. I see y'all in here. I got 148. Please hit that thumbs up button for me, please. And thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Today we have an interesting story. I believe you guys are going to love it because I'm loving it so far, okay? So listen, today, first tell me how you guys doing before we jump right in. How's everybody doing? Everybody good? Was it a rough weekend? I got a lot of voice notes and text messages. Everybody good though? Let me know now. Let me know how's everybody doing. I need to see good, great, fine, amazing in the comments. Okay, I see wonderful, super, great, fine. Okay, great. I see y'all. Wonderful. Okay, super busy. Okay. I'm doing great. How about you? I am doing amazing. I'm doing amazing. So I got y'all some new content. Are y'all ready? We got some new content, you guys. I mean, you know, every now and again, you know, I do new content anyway. But this story, we're going to stick on for a minute because we want to break it all the way down. Now, this does not set aside, or should I say, this does not deplete all the other stories that I've been covering, but this will set aside it just for a minute. But anytime anything spicy come up, I will be covering whatever that's spicy, okay? But this story right here is very interesting. I don't even know if you guys have heard about it, but let me give you a little bit of rundown of what we're about to cover, okay? Now, this story is old, but I've never heard about it. Have you guys heard about Trevor Summers? Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you heard the story about Trevor Summers. Anybody before I get into it? I think you guys are going to love the story, and I'm going to tell you why in a minute. Let me just see if anybody have heard it. Anybody? Going once, going twice. Okay, I see a couple of thumbs up. Okay. Well, let me tell y'all what's going on. So y'all know I cover relationships, narcissistic abuse, and that can include narcissistic abuse can include manipulation, gaslighting, love bombing, you know, verbal, physical, all that type of stuff, right? In dealing with relationships. Well, this guy named Trevor Summers, this happened back in 2017. But what happened was him and his wife, you know, they were married for 16 years and they hit a bump in the road, you know, and she no longer wanted to be married to him. They were having problems. I'm assuming that he was probably always a narcissist, but it just escalated after the separation. So she filed for a divorce in 2016. Just months after she filed for divorce, this incident took place. He didn't want a divorce. This man was like, no, you are not going to leave me. No way, no fashion, no form. Now, they did have 5 children, or they do actually have 5 children together. And he did not want to end the relationship. He did not want to see her happy without him. He didn't want to see her moving on. So what did he do? Well, he did a whole lot, and we're going to talk about it, okay? So again, this is a case of a man pending a divorce. His wife wanted a divorce. He didn't want one. He goes out of his way. He cannot accept no for an answer. She gets a restraining order put against him by the judge, was granted. Actually, it was a protective order, which is a little different. A protective order against him. And this was a lifetime protective order she received against this man. And let me tell you something. Now, this is not to scare anybody. Please believe I'm not trying to scare anybody. But sometimes you can do everything by the courts, by the law, right? You can get a restraining order. You can get the protection order. You can move away. You can leave the relationship. You can file for a divorce. You understand what I'm saying? You could do everything that you're supposed to do, right? And things can still go wrong, all right? Again, this is not to scare anybody. And this definitely is not to deter you from not taking the right steps. Okay. I think everybody should take the right steps. But I just want to point out that sometimes even taking the right steps, you will still have that person that just do not want to let go. They don't want to accept no for an answer. They don't want to see you happy. They don't want to see you moving on, especially without them. Okay. So this is the case of Trevor Summers. And I think her name was Alisa Summers, but she has since changed her name. She is alive. So this is a whole court hearing we're going to break down. Okay. I'm going to go into the opening statements for the prosecution and then the defense. But let me tell you a little bit more about what happened. So this man used his oldest daughter. She was 14 at the time. He used his oldest daughter by telling her, hey, you know, your mom and I have been talking about getting back together. You know, they had been living apart. They were not divorced yet, but they were living in two separate households. So he convinced his 14-year-old, hey, listen, you know, I know you want, you know, our family back together because, you know, kids do, no matter what. Kids do not want to see mommy and daddy divorced, even though the daddy may be abusive, may be, you know, just bad for the family. But the kids want to see mommy and daddy together. They don't realize at their young age that the relationship is not good. You understand what I'm saying? And it's better for them to be apart. Kids don't understand that. Kids want to see mommy and daddy together. They want that family dynamic that they were born into. They want to continue seeing that, right? So they don't know no better. So he manipulated his 14-year-old by telling her, listen, me and your mom been talking lately. You know, we love each other and we've been talking, and I just want to talk to her a little bit more and convince her to come home so we can be a happy family, okay? And the 14-year-old was all excited. She's like, okay, Dad, what do you need me to do? He convinced the 14-year-old. He says, listen, when everything is quiet in the house, when the kids are asleep, mommy is asleep or whatever, I want you to crack your window before you go to sleep, okay? I want you to crack the window, and I'm going to come in through your window just so I can have a conversation with mommy, okay? She didn't know no better. What did she think? She thought daddy was going to have a conversation with mommy, okay? So she cracked her window. After it got dark, everybody went to sleep. Daddy knocked on the window or called her. I think he texted her and said, I'm coming through the window. She says, okay. He crawled through the window, and she said, and he told the daughter, go out to the vehicle. I think maybe one or two of the siblings, grab your siblings and go out through the vehicle. So they went out to the vehicle, but two of the kids were still left in the home. The two younger kids was left in the home with mommy while laying in the bed. So they get in the van and wait. He's texting her the entire time, right? He climbs through the window and he goes in and he wakes up mommy, right? He, you know, startles her. We're going to hear about what happened from her own mouth, okay? But the daughter's in the car saying, Daddy, what's taking so long? Where are you and mommy? Because guess what? He said, I'm going in to talk to mommy to convince mommy to get in the car and go back to my house, okay? The 14-year-old wasn't thinking like, why did mommy have to talk to you at her house? Why can't mommy just let you come back into this house and we live happily ever after, right? She didn't know no better. She's literally thinking, daddy's going to climb through the window, get mommy to talk to him, and mommy's going to come out and get in the vehicle and they're going to drive to his house, okay? That's what the 14-year-old was thinking. She's texting her dad, why are you taking so long? He's like, oh, we're still talking. I'm still working on it, baby. Just wait. I'm coming. No worries. We're getting things ready. We're coming. He said, things are taking too long. Things are taking much longer than I thought or whatever. While he's texting the daughter and she's sitting in the car, what is he doing? He's tied up mommy, his wife, with Christmas lights, okay? He's tied her up to the bed with Christmas lights, right? The other two kids ran into their other room. They're in the other room. They hear mommy scream. They're saying, mommy, are you okay? Are you okay? She's like, yes, I'm okay. I'm okay. Stay in the room. Because you know what? Mommy don't want her kids to see her like that. What else is he doing? He's doing the R word. Y'all know what that means, the R word. He is R'ing his estranged wife, okay? They're not together, but they're not divorced. So he's R'ing her. He didn't do it just one time. He did it twice, okay? The daughter's still in the car. He's texting her. She's texting him, Daddy, what's taking so long? He said, you know what? This is taking really longer than I thought. Drive to my house and wait for me. Take the siblings to my house and wait for me. I will be there, right? Me and Mommy is going to come in her car or whatever. So listen to this. The 14-year-old is like, okay, Daddy, guess what she does? She doesn't really know how to drive, but guess what? She obeyed her daddy. She took off in the van with her two siblings, younger siblings, and she drove carefully. She said she drove slowly, carefully. She obeyed every light, every sign, every stop sign. Now, it's dark outside, okay? She, 14 years old, she drove about 20 minutes from her mother's house to her father's house, okay? She got in there and she was waiting for Mommy and Daddy to show up because guess what? That's what Daddy told her. Daddy told her, we're coming, we're coming, we're coming. Meanwhile, what is he doing? He's torturing his wife, okay? She's tied up. He's R'ing her. He R'd her again. You understand what I'm saying? He's abusing her in her home, okay? Tied up. She's trying to get her loose. She's trying to get her loose. She literally thought that she was going to be unalived, okay? So when a person is held captive like that, right? And they think already that you're going to bring harm against them, what are they going to do? They're going to do whatever they can to make you think that they are on your side. So she was like, okay. What do you want me to do? I'll do whatever you want me to do. Please don't do this. I'll do whatever. He said, I want you to come with me. She said, okay, I'll go with you. He said, I want us to run away. I want us to get on a boat and run away to another place. She said, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. Whatever you say, I'll do it. Just please don't harm me. I'll do it. Okay. So he said, you sure? You'll come with me. She said, I'll come with you. I'll do whatever you want me to do. He says, okay. So still tied up, he threw a blanket over her head and he took her out of the front door so the neighbors wouldn't see her, right? He took her out of the front door and put her in the car. They're in the vehicle, right? He's medicating her, should I say drugging her with cough syrup, with cough medicine to keep her drowsy, to keep her not engaged, really, alert and everything. He's forcing medicine down her throat, I don't know, NyQuil or something like that or whatever, right? So she's already drowsy. So now he runs out of cough medicine because he got the cough medicine from the house. He runs out of the cough medicine. So he stops by, I want to say it was Walgreens or CVS. We'll see it in the court proceedings in a few minutes. He stops by the Walgreens to pick up more medicine because he's already ran out. And while he's in the store picking up the medicine, she tries to take off, okay? She gets out the car and she starts yelling, help, help, help. He runs out of the store. He catches her and he puts her back in the car, right? But not without someone seeing him. Somebody saw him. They dialed 911 and told the police, there's a lady that just jumped out of a car yelling, help, help, help. And a man ran out of the store and grabbed her and put her back in the car and took off. But guess what? That bystander took the license plate number, okay? He was smart enough to get the description of the vehicle and the license tag, okay? So that's how the cops end up finding them. However, in between the cops finding them, he was so mad at her for taking off running, saying, you promised that you was going to come with me. You said you was coming with me. Why in the world did you take off running? You said that you would do whatever. She says, I know. I'm sorry. He was so mad that he tried to slice her wrist, okay? Cut her wrist or whatever. And then you'll hear that she said he put something around her neck and tried to strangle her. But it was two incidents during the kidnapping that he tried to unalive her. 2 different incidents, and we're going to hear about it here, okay? But guess what the pushback of this whole story is about? This man had the audacity to say, I didn't kidnap her. She agreed to come. I didn't R her. She was still my wife. You understand what I'm saying? So they had to go to trial, and it gets dirty. It gets dirty. They had to go to trial because he's like, no, she agreed. She agreed to come with me. Now, I think he was like, yeah, child endangerment. Yeah, I'll be charged with that. But the R word and kidnapping and attempted murder, no, I'm not taking those charges. So this man went through attorney after attorney, judge after judge, right? Meaning that he ended up getting the judge removed from the case, a judge removed from the case, because he's like, no, you're biased and, you know, you're leaning toward one side. So anyway, his manipulation was able to get a judge removed. He went through 2 attorneys. After he fired the second attorney, the judge like, listen, you either stick with this attorney or you defend yourself. He said, all right, I'll defend myself. I'll be my own attorney. So now his wife had to go through a long trial describing all the things that happened to her. And guess who had the opportunity to cross-examining her? Her own freaking abuser. Her own freaking abuser was able to cross-examine her. She had to, so basically, she was captured and tortured by her ex. They were still married, so, you know, soon to be ex, I'm going to say. And at the same breath, she had to sit through another abuse in order to get this man convicted, all right? So let's start with the opening statements of the prosecution, and then we will do the open statement for the defense. We're going to get into this story. We're not going to finish it today because it's a very, very long trial. We may not even get through. We're not even going to show the whole trial. Let me just say that. We're not going to show the whole trial because I just gave you guys a rundown of what's going on. But I do want to hear her testimony. I want you guys to hear with your own ears what she described happened to her, right? And the prosecutor is questioning her on this one. And then tomorrow we will hear him questioning her, cross-examining her, okay? So it's going to be long. It may even be 3 days because I don't even know if we're going to get through the questioning from the prosecution today. So it may be a 3-day thing, okay? Or 4. But I think you guys will enjoy it. Again, not trying to scare anybody, but when you have taken all the measures, going to court, getting the protective order, moving away, divorcing this joker, even though you got 5 kids, 16 marriage, you knew something was going on. Something had to be wrong with the relationship. A woman is not leaving a 16-year marriage with 5 kids, okay? They're not doing it. A woman is not leaving that. So that means that the relationship had to be something really, really bad had to be going on in the relationship for her to throw the towel in and say, I'm done. I'm walking away. 5 children, 16 years, I'm out of here, okay? So, yes, he wanted to traumatize her all over again. And you would even hear, and I'll stop it at that point when we get to it. Even the lawyer, his lawyer, you know, I hate to say this, but sometimes people will search out narcissistic attorneys, okay? Or, you know, manipulating attorneys, right? Unless they just know how to do it really, really good. Because you would even hear his attorney before he fired him try to manipulate her by saying, oh, it's such a shame that the kids have to go through this, right? He was really talking to the wife, right? Saying it's a shame that the kids have to be drawn into this. He said it more than once. So basically, he was trying to make her feel guilty for having to take her daughter through this because her daughter had to testify against him, okay? And he said it more than once, like, it's such a shame that these kids have to go through this. I felt that it was manipulation. When we get to that part, I'll let you guys be the judge, okay? All right, again, let's listen to
between Marshall.
Oh, shoot, I forgot. Hold on. Let's listen to the open statement from the prosecution. She's going to run down pretty much what I said, but, you know, she's going to give more legal terms, of course. and then the defense, okay? And then we're going to get into her testimony of what this man did to her, okay? Here we go. Turn your volumes up.
Between March 11th of 2017 and March 13th of 2017, Alisa Summers.
Can y'all hear that? Thumbs up if you can hear that. I don't want to go too far into it and you guys don't hear it. She says some of these defense attorneys have no ethics. Exactly. They'll know the person is straight guilty, but you know, their job is to defend them, so we can't take that away. But they do try to do manipulation techniques to tactics to try to, you know, get you to either change your mind or, you know, something of that sort. All right. Hey, everybody that's coming into the chat. Here we go. We're starting off again.
Between March 11th of 2017 and March 13th of 2017, Alisa Summers thought she was living out the last few days of her life. She believed that the defendant, Trevor Summers, was going to kill her. And he didn't attempt one time to kill her during those days. He attempted twice. I'm going to take you back to October 16th, October of 2016, when Alisa Summers decided that she was going to seek a divorce against the defendant. She moved out of the home, got her own home, was working, purchased a car, and was moving on with her life. She was moving away from the marriage that she had been in for the last 16 years with the defendant. And they had 5 children together. The oldest, Arden Summers, being 14 years of age, and the youngest, Cooper, who was 3 years old. Alisa Summers, during that time between October and...
I'm going to be stopping during it. I know you guys probably don't like it, but I have to do it. And let me tell you why. If we are going to be using somebody else's content to break down, we can't just play their whole content, okay? Because that's not, you know, they consider that copyright infringement. So I have to stop and be explaining things as we go. But I just wanted you guys to know the oldest was 14 and the youngest was 3. Again, you got a woman that's leaving a relationship. How many of you guys, by the show of hand, will leave your husband if he's a good man? 16 years, 5 children, and your youngest one is 3. Who wants 5 children and the youngest one in 3 is 3 years old? Who wants to have to deal with that by themselves? What mother will want to deal with that by themselves? Something pretty devastating had to be going on in the marriage for someone to want to deplete the marriage, get rid of it, walk away. 16 years, 5 kids, and the youngest one being 3. Right? Exactly. Not me either, Marissa. Heck no. Who wants that? That's a big headache, okay?
And March, she obtained a restraining order, specifically in February of 2017, just 2.5 weeks before the March incidents occurred. She obtained a restraining order, a protective order, where the defendant knew he was not to be near Alisa Summers or her home.
So now, again, a lot of people, when they're going through a divorce or whatever, they do ask for these restraining orders. Sometimes the judge grant them, sometimes the judge say no. The judge granted this restraining order, okay? Now, I don't even know if they're going to go into detail about him being abusive in a relationship. I don't even know if they're going to do that. But the judge granted the restraining order, which means something was going on. I don't know if he was abusive or not, but I'm going to assume he was, okay? I'm going to assume he was.
But on March 11th of 2017, he ignored that protective order. And he proceeded to utilize his 12-year-old and 14-year-old's feelings about the divorce. They're typical teenagers who they were upset that their parents were going to get divorced, that their family was going to change. And he played on their feelings with that, and he convinced them to help him get into her home in the early morning hours of March 11th of 2017. The Friday before, March 10th of 2017, Arden Summers, the 14-year-old, and Brennan Grady, 5 and 7 years old, were spending the night with Alisa Summers. And the plan was, once Alisa and Brennan Grady went to sleep, Arden was going to help her father get into the home so that he could come and talk to Alisa and try to convince her to come back home so their family could be a family once again. Landon and the defendant proceeded to drive to the area where Alisa Summers lived and parked in a parking lot just down the street from her home. Surveillance footage captures Landon walking down the street towards his mother's home. Surveillance video footage captures the defendant walking down the street, walking towards Alisa Summers' homes that he knew he was not supposed to be there. Shortly thereafter, you see Arden and Landon walking away from the victim's home. You don't see Trevor Summers walk away from the victim's home.
I just got a quick question for you guys. So he knew he wasn't supposed to be there, right? And again, he told the daughter that he wanted to talk to her to try to get the family back together. I just want to ask y'all a question. Would you tell your 14-year-old, if you was the wife, that you have a restraining order against daddy and daddy is not supposed to be around you? Would you tell her that, or would you leave that as adult business? Or would you let her know that so that she wouldn't even if something like this was to happen, or he would bring this up, she would be like, no, Dad, you're not supposed to be around. I can't help you with that. Okay, so you guys are saying she's old enough, so yes, you will tell her. Okay. So no one is saying no, they wouldn't tell her, they would leave it adult business. So everybody is saying yes, they would tell, most definitely tell them. Okay, everybody is saying yes. Okay, just wondering. All right.
The state submits that the evidence will show Trevor Summers entered the bedroom window that Arden had left open for him. He proceeds to enter Alisa Summers' home while she is sleeping in her bedroom with her 5-year-old and 7-year-old, Brennan Grady. And you will see the text messaging that continues between Arden and Landon and their father, the defendant, about what he's doing in the home of Alisa Summers and how he is going to try to wake her up and convince her to come back home. But that's not what happened. You are going to get to hear from Alisa Summers. You are going to hear what happened in that home the early morning hours of March 11th of 2017. You're going to hear that she woke up to some person she could not see in her dark bedroom. She begins screaming, "Who is here? Who is in my room?" And as soon as she hears the defendant's voice, she knows exactly who it was.
Actually, not only when he responded, when she said, "Who's in my room? Who's in my room?" This joker responded, "Calm down, it's just me. Calm down, it's just me. It's just me, the guy that the court said stay away. Calm down, it's just me. Oh my God, calm down." So can you imagine being in your bed, sound asleep, with 2 of your little ones in the bed with you? You hear noise in your dark room and you says, "Who's there? Who's in my room?" And the person that you got a restraining order against says, "Calm down, it's just me." Like, that had to be one of the scariest moments. Like, how the hell did you get in my house, right? That's what you would be thinking, right? Like, what in the world are you doing in my home? Okay? Calm down. It's just me.
She starts throwing things at him and screaming. Brennan and Grady are in the bed with her. Okay,
Rachel said, "Amor, do they give specifics what was in the protective order?" I don't know as of yet. I'll have to look it up. Let me just play this and I'll see if I can find the restraining order to see what was it. But I know one of the things, Rachel, was he wasn't supposed to be nowhere around her. Now, was he? I do believe that he was still having visitation with the children, because he had 2 of them. Okay. He had two of the kids. Two of the kids got in the van with the 14-year-old. Okay. I don't know if I said that. I think I said they climbed out the window, but they didn't. The mother had 3 kids that weekend, and he had 2 of the kids that weekend. So the 2 of the kids went into the van with the 14-year-old, but they were younger than the 14-year-old. Okay. So I don't know exactly what was in the restraining order. I could look and see if I can find it. If I can find it, I'll let you know. But I know one of them, he wasn't supposed to be around her. Okay. Now, I don't know if they had like a parent or, maybe, I don't know how they exchanged of the children, but I just know that he wasn't supposed to be around her. All right.
The defendant takes her feet, pulls her out of the bedroom and down the hallway into the family room. Brennan and Grady are waking up, seeing what's happening. They realize what's happening. They're concerned for their mom. They're crying and upset. And the defendant tells Brennan and Grady to go back in the bedroom. For hours then, the defendant has the victim in her family room. Alisa tries multiple times to run out the front door, and every time the defendant overpowers her with his weight and size. She is trying to keep Brennan and Grady calm. So every time they yell from the bedroom, "Mom, are you okay? Is everything okay?" She's like, "I'm fine, kids. Everything's okay." Because she's worried about them. Around 4:20 a.m., you're going to see the defendant's Pacifica minivan come driving by from the parking lot was down the street towards Alisa Summers' home. When Arden and Landon are sitting in the minivan from the early morning hours around 12:30 until 4:20 when the minivan is being seen moving towards the victim's home. They're texting their father, and he's texting them back. He's saying, "I need more time with her. I need more time."
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to let that go. Put that
You are
down.
performing a most important civic duty and privilege being here.
Wait a minute. I just want to show you guys this right quick. This is the family. So you would know, like, the kids were small. So they weren't no big kids. That's the mommy in the red holding the baby. Of course, daddy beside her. These are little kids. The one right here in the middle, that's the 14-year-old. These are tiny kids. This 14-year-old drove a vehicle, okay? These are little kids. Look how little these babies are. Look at these kids. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are small children, okay? Of course, I know he probably wanted his family, but these are the kids that he was able to manipulate. You know what I mean? Well, he manipulated the 12-year-old and the 14-year-old is the one that he manipulated, okay? All right, let's continue.
We need you here.
Okay, so now, of the opening statement, that was all I was able to get. Now we are into the defense opening statement, okay? All right, we're into the defense opening statement.
The next 5 days will be transformative to you, both in the legal system to hopefully appreciate what our judicial system is and the freedoms that we enjoy. And also, you're going to leave with a feeling of despair in hearing this very tragic story.
Now, this is the second attorney. Let me point this out. This is the second attorney. He had already fired the one attorney. This is the second one. He's going to fire this one as well, and then he's going to represent himself. But let's just listen to what this second attorney, this is the one I was telling you about that, in my opinion, was trying to manipulate the mother into possibly feeling bad that the kids have to even go through something like this, okay? He's going to try to build the case of this man just wanted his family. They had 16 years invested in it. They had 5 children. You know, he wanted his family. So, you know, he'll do anything to save his family type bull crap, okay? That's the route this defense attorney wanted to paint the picture. This man was a loving man. He wanted his family. He would do anything to keep his family together. He just wanted to convince her that, hey, we are a family. Let's stay together forever, you know?
about a family that fell apart. As you hear, these folks were married for 16 years. These folks had 5 children, ranging from teenagers, 14-year-olds, down to a toddler, 3 years old. 5 children. The marriage was falling apart. The parties were separating. But there was nothing that said that the divorce was acrimonious. Didn't appear that they were fighting over anything. Children.
So right there, he's saying that the divorce, that they agreed to the divorce. They didn't really have no major problems. He's saying, hey, nothing shows that there was abuse, there was cheating, it just fell apart. Like they just, after 16 years and 5 children, they wasn't fighting over anything. They were just getting a divorce just because, today's Monday, you know what I mean? Like that's what this attorney is trying to say. There was nothing major. It was just agreed upon. Hey, I don't want to be with you. I don't want to be with you either. Okay. So let's just get a divorce. Okay. Let's just get a divorce. That's what he's trying to paint the picture. They wasn't fighting over anything. There was no abuse. That's what he's trying to say. But I don't believe that, you guys. I don't believe it.
These folks were married for 16 years. These folks had 5 children, ranging from teenagers, 14-year-olds, down to a toddler, 3 years old. 5 children. The marriage was falling apart. The parties were separating. But there was nothing that said that the divorce was acrimonious. Didn't appear that they were fighting over anything. Children, property, assets. And they had been estranged for a while. It is true that there was an injunction against Mr. Summers, but there was also an injunction against Mrs. Summers.
So right here, he's saying, yes, it was a restraining order against him, but there was also a restraining order against her. But why? If they're not fighting over anything, they're not fighting over property, money, none of that, right? Houses, cars, none of that, right? Then why is there a restraining order against her? And why is there one against him, right? He said there was an injunction against both of them.
Now, we trust in the collective wisdom of the jury. The story that Ms. Johnson gave you is a story. It is the state's theory of what happened. A lot of it is true. A lot of it is also verified by Mr. Summers when he makes his statements. But we also have to follow the law. Look at the charges that are against him and see if the facts that you hear from that witness stand match up with the law as you're going to get instructed from the court. He's charged with attempted murder. You heard some information, not evidence. You heard some story about how that was happening. How did it end?
So the lawyer is basically trying to say attempted murder, like how did it happen? How did it end? And I'm going to go ahead and tell you a little bit, the cutting of the wrist. He says, I wasn't trying to slit her wrist. I was trying to cut the rope from around her wrist. I wasn't trying to strangle her. I was trying to detain her. So, he, of course, there's a lot of play on words or whatever, but his excuses to me are lame. But let's continue. And that's what this lawyer is trying to say, basically, like, you saying attempted murder. It wasn't attempted murder, If he attempted to kill her, then why is she basically still alive? Like, he really had every opportunity to do so. Then why is she still alive is what he's really trying to say, right?
You heard some statements about crimes of kidnapping. When exactly that occurred, and what was the motive of the kidnapping? What was the purpose of the kidnapping, if there was a kidnapping?
On the kidnapping, he's going to try to argue that it wasn't a kidnapping because she actually agreed to go with him, but she did it to save her life.
There was sexual activity. Whether you call it sexual assault depends, again, is it a crime? What happened in that situation?
Again, he's trying to say, the lawyer, it wasn't a sexual assault. They were still married. They weren't divorced yet. So basically, how can he sexually assault his wife? His legal still wife. Okay? That's what the attorneys are going to try to fight.
Charged with grand theft, stealing the automobile, seeing that was actually the motive for all of this. He's charged with child neglect. I would say that these poor children that have to go through this tumultuous divorces, and then when situations get out of hand, the children always suffer.
There, right there was one that I said he gonna say this again, you guys. But right there, I'm a fast forward to so you can rewind it so you can hear it again. But I felt like him saying that was basically trying to manipulate the woman. You understand what I'm saying? To try to make her feel bad for even bringing this forward. Okay, that to their from the point of view of these are these children's father that you're doing this against. Okay. All right. Let me rewind it. Listen to what he says.
These poor children that have to go through this tumultuous divorces, and then when situations get out of hand, the children always suffer.
He basically saying these poor kids, first they got to go through these divorces, and then when things get out of hand, it's the kids that have to suffer, right? That's what he's trying to say. They're forced to go through this horrible divorce in the first place, and because they're forced to go through this horrible divorce, now look what they got to suffer with, right? They got to suffer with things like this man not wanting to let his family go, and what does he do? He kidnapped and attempt to unalive the wife. Okay, he was going to unalive the wife and himself because he's like, I ain't living without you. If we're going to get a divorce, we both going to be gone. Okay, that's basically what he was going to do. He was going to unalive the both of them. All right.
They have to come in today and testify to. They go through this event that happened between them.
I want y'all to listen to that again. The sniff part got me because we know who does that when they lying or whatever. He says now he's saying the kids gotta come in and testify against what happened to them. Okay, listen to this man again.
These poor children that have to go through this tumultuous divorces, and then when situations get out of hand, the children always suffer. They have to come in today and testify to. They go through this event that happened between them. There are some inconsistencies through all of this. You will see there are times, she says, the testimony from Mrs. Summers will be that she was tied up, that she couldn't get away, that she was forced, that she had no alternative. But there's some inconsistencies. You will see McDonald's video where she's not tied up, where she's assisting, mixing the ketchup, mustard, getting things together.
Now, let me just stop right here. So I'm going to continue it. But again, when she agreed that she would go with him, he did. It was a time when he untied her. Okay. Once they got in the car, he did, she calmed down a little, whatever. And so now he's trying to say she was willing, like she could have escaped, right? Like she wasn't tied up the whole entire time. She agreed to come with me, right? She agreed, like basically we planned this together to get away from the kids and move away and just, I guess go on by their little lonely, their own business or whatever, and leave their 5 kids to fend for themselves or whatever, right? Or the grandparents or whatever to fend. But he's basically trying to say she agreed to run away with him, okay? And that's what the lawyer is trying to say too. She wasn't tied up in McDonald's. She wasn't tied up in this spot. She wasn't tied up in that spot,
When you get to the sexual assault, you have to make some decisions about the distinctions between consent and acquiescence.
Wow.
Most certainly, an individual who is being abducted and decides to do anything to stay alive, that would be acquiescence, and I would agree that that's not consent. But the question is that the situation in this case?
So again, did y'all hear what he just said? He basically is saying we have to question whether or not the sex was consensual or forced, because she assisted in taking her clothes off. But you got to understand, for the second time, let me say, the first time he basically, arred her, but the second time she assisted in, I guess helping him do whatever he needed to do, because she agreed that she would go with him. You understand what I'm saying? So he's like, we have to say, was it consensual? Because you agreed at this point when y'all had sex, you was in agreement with going away with him. Okay. So he looking at it like, hey, we made love. And she looking at it like, no, you arred me. Okay. You essayed me.
They weren't divorced yet. She was estranged from him. She was living in her own house. He was living in his house.
Somebody said, what state was this? This was in Florida, the state of Florida.
It appears that they were exchanging the children without any difficulty. And as I said before, it didn't appear that there was any acrimonious in the divorce itself. So we wonder what was the motivating factor for all of this. And then we've got a period of time, 3 days, where they're in the car. Only them. There's a period of time where they have the...
So he held her captive for 3 days. 3 days. 3 days that he held her captive, okay? Kidnapped, captive, whatever you want to call it. 3 days, okay? So again, this attorney is trying to say she was down with it. She could have escaped. For 3 days, she was along with the ride, okay?
Walgreens incident, and we talk about that, the circumstances surrounding that, and yes,
let's go back a little bit, because I want you to hear what he says about the Walgreens incident.
Who is being abducted and decides to do anything to stay alive, that would be acquiescence, and I would agree that that's not consent. But the question is that the situation in this case? They weren't divorced yet. She was estranged from him. She was living in her own house. He was living in his house. It appears that they were exchanging the children without any difficulty. And as I said before, it didn't appear that there was any acrimonious in the divorce itself. So we wonder what was the motivating factor for all of this. And then we've got a period of time, 3 days, where they're in the car. Only them. There's a period of time where they have the Walgreens incident, and we talk about that, the circumstances surrounding that, and yes, I agree. This is not a police-generated case. It's not where the police went out and got search warrants or wiretaps, like in the drug cases or racketeering cases, things like that. The police got a call from 911, and they followed through on a 911 call.
They got a call from 911 of a woman jumping out of the car screaming, help, help, help. And he grabbing her and throwing her back in the car. But he wants the courts to believe that she was with it. She agreed to all of it. Before she even left in the car with him, she agreed that she would run away with him. Okay? So that's what their argument is. She agreed to all of this. All of this was consensual.
I have to question, why is this being made? What is this being made? What is the circumstances surrounding this? Can this be trusted? Is this trustworthy? And then you're going to have a balancing act with a bunch of different competing theories, which is why we're here. If we all agreed on everything, we wouldn't have a trial. Traffic accident cases, somebody says the light was red, somebody else says the light was green. You have to decide what the facts were. And you're to do so with the rules that you have been given.
Let me just stop right there. So I see somebody in the comments saying, so there was no concerning activities. Do you mean like for them to get a divorce? I think you're talking about there was no concerning activities, as if like what led up to the divorce. I'm going to say this, just because you guys have an abusive relationship, right? It may not reach the divorce. You may file for the divorce for unreconcilable differences, but it may be other things that have went on in the marriage. It just didn't hit the divorce papers, okay? I don't think that everybody that went through some type of abuse put it in the divorce decree, okay? So just because he's saying it didn't appear that they were going through some issues, they had to be going through some issues. First, they got a divorce, and second, they got restraining orders against each other. They didn't just do that and they just all of a sudden woke up one day and said, I want a divorce. So I do believe that there were issues. They just didn't hit the divorce decree. So he's using that as an excuse. Like they weren't going through nothing because it's not in the divorce decree, you know?
Mr. Summers, as a citizen, has the right, the constitutional protection, to be examined again, to look at this again through the eyes of the jury of his peers, citizens as yourself. Not law enforcement, not the state attorney's office, not Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, not the judge. He's decided by a jury of his peers, which is what we're doing. And that means if you keep an open mind, if you wait to the end of all the evidence and wait for your deliberations with the collective wisdom of all the other jurors, and you question, is this right? You will be told you can believe everything a witness says. You can believe most of what a witness says. You can believe some of what a witness says. You can believe none of what a witness says. And that applies both for all of the state witnesses, and it also applies for Mr. Summers should he decide to take the stand. That's his decision. We've already said, and you've heard from the court, that if he decides not to take the stand, you're not to draw any inference from it. That is his privilege and constitutional right to do so. And that you've promised that you will judge the case only from what you hear on the witness stand. When you do that, I believe as you go through each of these crimes, I believe the evidence will show that he is not guilty of the crimes of attempted murder, kidnapping, grand theft. The child neglect charges, I will leave for you to decide.
He said the child neglect charges, I will leave for you to decide. He had his 14-year-old daughter drive a van from the mommy house to daddy house, and it's about 20 minutes apart. And he says the child abuse charges, yeah, I'm going to let you decide that on your own, okay? But he ain't guilty for kidnapping, attempted murder, or grand theft, okay? That's what he is trying to fight, okay? Again, he's trying to say it wasn't kidnapping because she agreed to go. It wasn't attempted murder because he was just trying to restrain her one time, and another time he was just trying to cut the ropes off her arms that he tied her up with, right? And the grand theft, he's like, I think it was something like I'm helping her pay for the vehicle that was stolen in the first place, so it can't be grand theft because it was kind of mine too because we're married and it's marital property type of shit, okay? All right, let's continue to listen.
Again, it was so sad of the story to have the children in the middle of all of this from both sides.
Again, he throws that up. Listen again. He throws that up about the kids. Again, I believe that he's trying to manipulate the mom into believing like, how in the world can you bring charges against your kid's father like that? Okay, listen one more time at him say that toward the end of his statement.
And it also applies for Mr. Summers should he decide to take the stand. That's his decision. We've already said, and you've heard from the court, that if he decides not to take the stand, you're not to draw any inference from it. That is his privilege and constitutional right to do so. And that you've promised that you will judge the case only from what you hear on the witness stand. When you do that, I believe as you go through each of these crimes, I believe the evidence will show that he is not guilty of the crimes of attempted murder, kidnapping, grand theft. The child neglect charges, I will leave for you to decide. Again, it was so sad of the story to have the children in the middle of all of this from both sides.
Okay, so again, he is literally saying it's so sad to have the kids involved in all of this from both sides, right? Trying to make it seem like how can you put your kids through this? Like, this is horrible. You shouldn't even put your kids through this. You guys should go in a corner and talk about this, and you shouldn't be trying to bring charges against this man. This man just wanted to stay married to you. That's what it sounds like the defense attorney is saying to me. Now, of course, we're not going to break down the whole entire thing, but I did want you guys to hear her statement. She is going to explain what happened to her in her own freaking words, and I want you guys to listen, okay?
You may proceed. Good afternoon. Hi. Can you please state your first and your last name, spelling your last name?
My legal name is Alisa Mathewson, Mathewson.
And what was your legal name in March of 2017?
Now, mind you, it took 5 years for this case to go to trial and for it to be heard, for her to, you know, to explain all this. So she's remarried already, okay? She's already remarried, got a new name and all that stuff or whatever. So let's just listen.
Alisa Summers, Summers.
And how do you spell your first name?
Alisa.
And are you currently employed?
I am.
And how are you employed?
I'm a Medicare insurance agent.
And are you currently married?
I am.
And who are you married to?
Jeffrey Mathewson.
And how long have you been married?
I have been married since February 2018.
So now this happened. So she filed for divorce in 2016. This happened in 2006. So she filed for divorce October 2016. This happened in 2017, and she got married in 2018. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't know about that one, y'all. What y'all think? What y'all think? That's pretty quick to move on after somebody to attempt to end your life. 5 kids, but hey, right there tells you, you know, who was it that y'all don't have to say the name, but you know. Let me just say it like this. Have we heard somebody say, oh, a man ain't gonna want you with 5 children? A man ain't gonna want you with 4 children. A man ain't gonna want you with 5 kids. A man ain't gonna want you with 6 kids. There's no way a man will marry you with all them children. Have we heard that? Have we heard that before? No man will marry you with all that baggage. Have we heard that before? Well, she got wifed up with 5 beautiful kids. Okay, look at these kids. Look at these children. They little children, honey. You hear me? They little children. She got wiped up with all these kids. 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Somebody wiped her up. All right, here we go.
Do you have any children?
I have 5.
And what are their names and current ages?
Arden is 19, Landon is 18, Bryn is 13, Grady is 11, and Cooper is 9.
Now they're older now. The case actually went to trial in 2022, okay? So from 2017 when it happened, it took 5 years to go to trial. It went to trial in 2022, so now it is 2024. So just add 2 more years onto these kids' age, okay? So now her youngest one is 7, okay? And her oldest one is 21.
And were you previously married?
Yes.
And who were you married to?
Trevor Summers.
Do you see him here in the courtroom today?
I do.
And can you please describe an article of clothing that he's wearing?
He's wearing a gray sweater.
Please let the record reflect she has identified the defendant.
The record shall so reflect.
Now, I know he got to feel bad because not only is he in court for attempting to unalive her, kidnap her, and grand theft and child neglect and all that other stuff, he got to sit there and listen to this woman says the things that he did to her, but more so that she already remarried. She married another man anyway, so he lost all the way around. He lost his family, he lost his wife, he lost all, and now he's going to prison. Now he's going to prison because he could not move on, could not let go, did not want to see her happy without him, okay?
And when was your divorce final?
My divorce was final April 25th of 2017.
I'm going to draw your...
Wait a minute, hold on. That's one of the quickest divorces I've ever seen. So she filed for divorce October of 2016, and her divorce was final April 2017. What? So Florida, you only got to be separated for a day? Let me see. October, November, December, January, February, March, April. 6 months. It took the divorce 6 months to be final. I wonder why they weren't fighting over nothing. 6 months and they were divorced. Wow.
Attention specifically starting with March of 2017. Were you together with Trevor Summers or separated at that time?
We were separated.
And when did you become separated from the defendant?
October 2016.
And is that when you physically began living separately from the defendant?
That is correct.
And where did you move to?
I moved to 1412 Dew Bloom Road, Valrico, Florida.
Okay. So 1412 Dew Bloom Road, that's where you started
Valrico, Florida.
living when you separated. And is that where you lived on March 11th of 2017?
I did.
And is that located within Hillsborough County, Florida?
It is.
And where did Trevor Summers live in October of 2016?
He remained at 11737 Newberry Grove Loop in Riverview.
Is that also located within Hillsborough County, Florida?
It is.
And can you describe your residence that was at 1412 Dew Bloom Road? How many bedrooms and bath? How big was it?
Okay, it was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, approximately 1,000 square feet, the
Dang.
1-car garage.
1,000 square feet for 5 kids? God dang. Woo, that's a tiny house.
At the time that you separated in October 2016, were you both sharing custody of the 5 children?
We were.
Drawing your attention specifically to March 10th of 2017, do you remember what day of the week that was?
It was a Friday.
And was that a day that you were going to have your children?
Yes,
And did you have all 5 of your children on that date?
I had 3.
And what 3 children?
Arden, Bryn, and Grady.
And what was the plan for that evening?
I was to pick them up at the playground within Trevor's neighborhood. So I went in that neutral spot, the playground. I picked up Arden, Bryn, and Grady. And we were going to go back to my house, watch dinner, watch movies, have dinner, and they were going to sleep over.
Now, how come?
That's pretty weird to me. So they both had restraining orders on each other, but she was picking the kids up from the playground within their neighborhood. Do y'all think that's safe? Would you get a restraining order against someone and still meet them at the playground? And it didn't even sound like she said that she was going to meet them. It sounded like as if the kids were going to be there by themselves. I don't know. Maybe he was going to be there. I don't know. Because why file a restraining order against someone, right? They're not supposed to be around, but yet you guys exchanged the children. That sounds kind of weird to me. Because if I had a restraining order, I'm not meeting you nowhere with the kids except for not even at the police station. It'll be in the police station. You hear me? Hey, we will have to go inside the police station. Matter of fact, I drop the kid off to the police and you can go there an hour after me and pick them up, or maybe 20 minutes after me and pick them up. That meeting at the playground stuff, that stuff get dangerous, y'all. Y'all need to be careful with that for real.
Landon did not come that time.
Landon chose not to come for the visit.
Okay. Was he having some issues with the separation and the divorce between you and the defendant?
He was.
Was there an injunction at that time as well that prevented the defendant from coming to your home?
Yes.
Was there an injunction that prevented you from going to his home?
Yes.
Now, did you watch movies the night of March 10th of 2017?
We did. We watched Storks.
So it sounded like the 12-year-old son was mad at her. I don't know if y'all caught that, but she said he chose not to come. He didn't want to go, visit her during that weekend. Okay. So that's why she only had 3 kids and not 5, because 2 of the kids did not want to come with mommy. Now, I don't know which 2 it was, but 2 of the kids did not want to come with mommy. Okay. Let me put this up for a second. So she had the 2 smaller kids, the one she holding, and then the one that's sitting on the other side of daddy. She had them 2 smaller ones, and I'm going to assume that she had the other one, the younger one. But the 2 oldest one, the 12-year-old boy and the 14-year-old girl, I don't think that I think they were having major issues with the split up. But she had they said he had 2. So he must have had the one on these 2 ends, the boy and then the girl on the other end, because the 14-year-old was actually in the house with her. Okay. So I don't know. Anyway, let's continue.
That evening, did anything unusual happen?
No.
Do you recall after the movie was over, what happened?
I was tired, and I kind of started dozing off on the couch while the movie was going on. And so I was going to go to bed, and Bryn and Grady, it was past their bedtime, and they asked to sleep in my bed with me, and I let them sleep in bed with me. And Arden wanted to stay up, watch movies, and said she was going to just sleep on the couch that night.
Did Bryn and Grady have their own beds in your home?
Yes.
Was it a separate bedroom?
Yes.
And that night they had asked to sleep in your bed?
Yes.
Did Arden have her own bed at your home?
Arden and I shared a queen-size bed in my bedroom.
Was that the master suite?
Yes.
But that night she chose to sleep on the couch.
Yes.
So Arden is the 14-year-old. So the 14-year-old shared a bed with mommy? That's a little weird, but I guess.
Do you recall approximately what time you, Bryn, and Grady went to sleep?
It was a little before 10 o'clock, 9:45-ish.
Did you take anything to go to sleep, or on any medication like that to help you sleep or anything?
No.
At some point, do you wake up?
Yes.
And do you know what time that was?
It was 3 o'clock.
How do you know it was 3 o'clock?
I had a digital clock with large numbers on my end table.
What caused you to wake up?
I was woken suddenly from a deep sleep to water droplets on my face, and when I was trying to get my bearings, I realized there was a dark figure in my bedroom.
So this man poured water on her face to wake her up. Man, let me tell you something. I'm waking up swinging. Who waking up swinging? I am waking up kicking and swinging. You hear me? So listen, I'm telling you, I'm waking up swinging. Water in my face, I'm waking up swinging. Swinging, kicking, screaming. Those 3 things right there. I am waking up swinging, baby.
Did you have any lights on in your room?
No.
Any light on in the bathroom that's
No.
attached to your bedroom?
No.
What did you do when you saw the dark figure?
I started to scream, "Who's in my room? Who's in my house?" The dark figure went up against the wall, leaning against the wall, and I kept screaming. And then I heard a voice say, "Calm down."
Did you recognize that voice?
I did.
And who did you recognize that voice to belong to?
Trevor Summers.
Were Bryn and Grady still in the bed with you at that time?
Yes.
What were they doing when that initial interaction took place?
They were starting to stir, but had not fully woken awake.
What's the next thing that happened?
When he said, "Calm down," and I realized who it was, I started reaching to my end table and throwing objects from my end table at him.
Do you recall what you threw?
I always sleep with a cup of water that has a straw in it, and I grabbed that and threw that. There was a box of tissues. So those are the items that are normally on my end table.
What's the next thing that happened?
He grabbed my feet from the end
And when you say he, is that the defendant?
Yes, Trevor Summers grabbed my feet, by my ankles, the end of the bed, and drug me, my full body off of the bed, pulling all of the bedding and everything with me.
Let's stop it right here for a second. I want to show you guys the house. Now, me personally, I wouldn't prefer living in a house like this, but let me explain to you why. Hold on, let me put it up. All right, this is the front of the house. It looks nice, right? It's a cute little house, but look at the back. Hold on. Too bad I can't put them all up at one time. That window is a little bit too close to the ground for me. Now, maybe this is how it is in Florida. I don't even know if they even have, well, I guess they do have 2 stories. I'm assuming they probably do. But this looked like it might be a 1-story home. And the window just so close to the ground. Hell, anybody can crawl through there. So, you know, I'm not really that type of person that likes a house where the window is so close to the ground. I probably wouldn't be able to go to sleep knowing that my kids are in a room where the window is so easily accessible. I mean, I just probably would be freaked out, you know? I don't know. What about you guys? Would y'all be okay or safe living in a house where the window is so close to the ground? I mean, that would bother me. Definitely bother me. I don't even remember. We had a 1-story house when I was younger, and I don't remember the window being this low. And not only that, we had like bushes, like you know, shrubs that growed up or whatever around the window. So you know, you couldn't just get in like that. She said an alligator can get in there. Anybody can get in there. It's just so low to the ground. I don't think that I would prefer that. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, some people got to do what they got to do. And I understand that. I just would not prefer that. Okay. Yeah, no, I need you to have to go get a ladder. Okay. But this is the bedroom in which he came in and was at, you know, sprinkling water on her face. Okay. And that's how she woke up in that bed. That doesn't look like a king size bed. It looked like a full size, but she said it's a king size or whatever. And then these are the ropes that he used, or should I say the Christmas lights to tie her up. Like, who does that, right? Who ties someone up with Christmas lights, right? Like, you literally were trying to, you know, leave some type of bruises or something, right? And then he also tied her up with this. Let me put this up right quick. Hold on. He also used this to put around her mouth and her neck. So her own scarves and stuff. But yet he wants people to believe that she was a willing participant. Oh, she said queen size. Okay, I thought she said king, queen size bed. Okay. And but so all of this, but she was supposed to be a willing participant. Okay. Okay. He wanted the courts to believe, oh, she just came with me. She just, you know, we was running away together. You know, yeah, I had to restrain her a little bit. You know what I mean? I had to, like, you know, put, you know, Christmas lights around her hand, her arms, and her feet. He hog-tied her. He literally hog-tied her, okay? And kept her that way for a while. She said it hurt it so bad.
Judge, may I approach the witness? You may. Ms. Mathewson, I'm showing you what's been pre-marked as State's Exhibit 1, Set 1, A1 through 104. Have you previously looked at these photographs prior to today?
Yes.
And do they fairly and accurately depict what your home looked like on March 11th of 2017?
Yes.
State offers an evidence, state's exhibits.
Robbie, you say you're getting confused. What are you getting confused over? Let me know. Am I losing anybody? What are you getting confused over? You want to know, did she go willingly or did he force her? Which part is confusing you? He very much forced her. She just agreed because, you know, to try to save her life. But he very much forced her. She said, did he have a GUN? No, he didn't have a GUN, but he had 2 knives. He purchased 2 knives. I think they said he had a knife. Or maybe a knife or a razor blade. What was it? Was it a knife or a razor blade? I can't remember if they said it was a razor blade or a knife. But I think it was a knife that he tried to cut the things off her arm with. It was either a pocket knife or a razor blade. But he had something sharp, an sharp object. But what are you trying to say? That if he didn't have a gun, there's no way that he wouldn't have been able to do all of this? He woke her up in the middle of the night by pouring water on her face. He already had an advantage. When you sleep, the person that's standing over you have an advantage. You know what I mean? You're waking up out of a deep sleep. You're startled. You're like, who the hell? You know what I mean? Like, that's why I have alarm systems. My 14-year-old would not have been able to open the window without the alarm sounding off. Okay, I have alarm system on every window. You're not sneaking out the house. No one's sneaking in the house. There's definitely alarm. So that window would have been open. I would not have went to sleep because I would have been like, wait a minute, why can't I set the alarm? So daddy wouldn't have been able to get through the window with me. He would have had to figure something else out. He would have had to know the alarm code. Now he may have been able to bribe her or manipulate her into giving him the alarm code, but definitely not leaving no window open. Not in my house. Not in my house at all.
Set 1, A1 through 104.
Is there any objection? No objection. Set A1.
No, sorry, set 1.
Set 1. Set 1, A1 through 104 will be admitted.
Permission to publish, Judge.
You may publish to the jury.
Publishing set 1. All of these will be set 1 that I'm referring to, A2. Ms. Summers, if you can look at that screen, what are we looking at here?
That is the front of my home on Dubloom.
A3.
That is the address, 1412.
Dubloom, is that correct?
Correct.
A4, is this a close-up of your front door?
Yes.
A5, what are we looking at here?
That is the front window to the family room.
And almost like you're walking.
Okay, so Rachel asks, I'm curious to know how much of this the kids who were in the bed with her witness. Now, mind you, they're only 3 and 5, okay? But she sent them to their rooms and they were yelling, Mommy, are you okay? Are you okay? And she said, yes, I'm okay. I'm okay. So they may have heard her screaming. They may have witnessed the screaming and, maybe some bumping around. But I don't believe that they actually saw anything. I don't know, though. Let's find out. But it was said that she sent them to their room. OK, so now and it was said that they were yelling, Mommy, are you OK? Mommy, are you OK? So 3 and 5 were the ages. OK, so I don't know if they saw much. OK, maybe they did, though. Maybe they did.
Walking if you're facing your home, you're walking to the right of it. Is that correct, along the outside?
Oh, that's the side of the house walking to the backyard.
So let me just go back to the beginning.
She should have had a big ass dog in there, but it probably would have been a family dog, but something to alert her that somebody was in her house. You know what I mean? If you a single mom, you need some type of protection, whether it's a dog, alarm system, a GUN to pop somebody when they come in your house. Like, you need something. But I'm sure she wasn't expecting somebody to, go through her daughter's window,
So this is the front window here towards the right of the house. So it's almost as if you're walking towards the right side of the home. Is that correct?
Correct.
And when you're facing it. A6, again, is this still on the right side of your home?
Yes.
A7, is that simply a close-up of the photograph that's in A6?
Yes.
So I'm just wondering, like, so for the, I'm gonna let it run. Well, I'm gonna let it play, but I'm gonna put it on mute as she just agreeing that that's her home. Okay, I'm gonna let it play while she's saying yes, that that's her house. But I'm wondering who took the screen off the window. Was it the 14-year-old? Did he take the screen off the window? So maybe she just left it open and he took the screen down. Mommy didn't hear that. Like, the house is only 1,000 square feet. Like, I don't know. Let me see what they're saying right there. Hold on.
Whose room is that with
That
the window
is
there?
a playroom with toys and for the kids to play in.
Was that screen off of that window the last you knew?
It was left off.
Was it always off, or on March 10th of 2017 was that screen on?
That was screen would be on.
Okay.
Okay, so she said the screen was on. So he took the screen off the window. And it sounds like she said it wasn't the daughter's room, it was the playroom. That's even more freakier. Oh, I don't even, it just makes me feel some type of way that somebody can just crawl through the window and get access to your children, to you, and without no dogs barking, without no neighbors being nosy, without nothing, no light coming on. Like, you know, you have the motion lights around your home. Like, nothing happened to alert somebody that somebody was crawling through somebody's window. This is scary. Get somebody else to do that.
A10. Do you see these white things on the ground?
Yes.
What are those?
Cigarette butts.
State's Exhibit A11, is that simply a close-up of the window?
Yes.
Somebody asked, where were the kids when they were gone? Now that I don't know. We're going to have to find that out together. I mean, I could just be looking it up while she said, that's a good question, Kim. I think that was Kim that asked, where were the kids? Let me see. Who asked, where were the kids? Somebody asked, where were the kids? Yeah, I don't know who asked that, but somebody asked that. But let me see. Oh, C. Baldwin said, so where were the kids during the 3 days? I'll look it up in a minute. She said, so a 14-year-old opened the window. I'm thinking it was the baby. No. The 14 left the window open. So daddy told the 14-year-old, leave the window open so I can go in and talk to mommy and convince her to come home. You know what I mean? Because mommy moved out. And the 14-year-old was like, okay, daddy, because the 14-year-old wants mommy and daddy back together.
Moving to the inside of your home, States A20.
Oh, I see what you said, Kim. You said they got a playroom, but yet daughter sleeps with her. Yeah, that is kind of, they had a playroom, but daughter slept with her. Maybe because she just wants somewhere for, I mean, that's a lot of kids. She wants somewhere for the kids to go play and not in her room, huh?
Is this a photograph of your front door?
Front door.
Was there damage to that front door the last you saw your home on March 11th of 2017?
No.
A21, what are we looking at here?
This is the family room and the hallway.
A22.
This is the family room.
A24.
Another angle of the family room.
And what is in this room back here with the little alcove cut out?
That is the kitchen.
And what does this hallway lead to towards the back center of the photograph?
The bedrooms and the bathrooms.
So as I'm reading, it looks like the kids were left by themselves, and that the daddy went back to the house to tell the kids bye the next day. What? Let me finish reading that part. Hold on.
Publishing A44. What does this photograph depict?
The master bedroom.
Was this the bedroom that you were sleeping in on the night of March 10th of 2017?
Yes.
And is this the nightstand back on the left side of the?
Okay, so I can't remember who it was that said, did he have a gun? So he didn't have a pow, but he had a machete, baby. A machete. I don't know which one is worse. Oh my God. A machete it was.
Bed?
Yes.
That you referenced picking things up?
Yes.
Now, when these photographs were taken by law enforcement, you were not present for that. Is that correct?
Correct.
Can you tell me how you, Bryn, and Grady slept? Who slept on the left, the center, and the right?
I slept in the middle, and I don't remember which child was on either side of me, but there was a child on either side.
Where was your cell phone when you went to sleep?
On that end table where the box of tissues is.
And how many cell phones did you have at the time?
I had two. I had just changed and upgraded to a new cell phone, and I kept the old phone that had no service on it.
What kind of phone was your old phone?
It was a Samsung,
And what kind of phone was your new phone?
an iPhone.
States A52, the water bottle that is on the bathroom countertop, is that the water that had been thrown when you learned that the defendant was in your home?
Yes.
As I'm looking through photos of this family, I'm gonna put it up for y'all right quick. I want y'all to tell me what even though he did what he did was wrong, but look at some of these photos. This wasn't like this family was a like a typical family. Look at this. They traveled. Look at this. Decent, nice looking family. Like, this is weird to me though. Look at this one. Oh, that ain't it. Oh shoot. But anyway, this just makes me think something else. Like, do you think maybe she was having an affair? And maybe I shouldn't be jumping to that conclusion. It's just it looked like they were kind of pretty happy. And I know looks are deceiving, very much so. We've seen that, heard that, we know that. But it's just, that's kind of weird. Anyway, all right, sorry. Let's go. She said looks are deceiving. Yeah, they are.
That is correct.
What happened when you got out into that family room?
Okay, she's about to start talking about the gruesome stuff that happened to her. So at this moment, If you can't stand, really disgusting things or abuse or something like that, it may be time for you to exit the room and maybe come back a little later. But she is going to start describing things that happened to her by the hands of her estranged husband, okay? So just give you guys a time to exit the room because I don't want anybody to be offended by the things that she's about to say. All right, I don't see anybody exiting, so I am hitting play, okay?
He attacked me in that family room, and I fought to try to get out the front door. I tried kicking him, scratching, poking him in the eyes. I just didn't have the strength, and every time I would get some distance from him and try to reach the door, he would grab a hold of me and throw me over the couch that's there along the hallway side, and throw me over the couch. Wrestling in the family room area. At some point I found my old phone that didn't have any service and dialed 911, and of course I hit send and he grabbed it out of my hand and canceled the call. I kept wrestling with him, trying to get any distance I could from him. I ran to the kitchen to get the house phone, the landline phone from the kitchen, and it had been removed from the wall.
When you went to sleep that night on March 10th of 2017, where was that landline phone?
It was hanging on the wall where the opening is to the kitchen, that little window. It's on the wall that is like kind of the pillar on the side of the kitchen.
Okay.
As soon as you go into the kitchen.
I know I keep stopping it. Let me put this up right quick. This is them when they met in high school in 1995. Look at them. Look at that. The young couple, they met in high school in 1995. He wasn't no bad looking guy, was he? Not at all. Nice looking fella. But anywho, 16 years later.
Publishing A27. What are we looking at here? What is this area?
This is the desk area in the family room.
And I'm pointing to this white phone in the right center of the photograph. What is that?
That would be the kitchen phone that is removed from the wall.
So when you went to sleep on the night of March 10th of 2017, that was hanging on the wall the way you previously stated?
Yes.
Is there a jack or any way for that phone to be plugged in there?
No.
When the defendant initially drug you out of your bedroom, what did Brennan Grady do?
So he dragged me down the hallway by my ankles as I was kicking and twisting my body, trying to get away from him. And I heard...
Objection.
Hearsay.
Legal basis.
Hearsay. She's getting ready to state what the children have stated. That would be hearsay.
Do you intend to have her testify as to what they said? You asked, what did they do?
I can lay the foundation.
Okay, or she can testify to what they did without testifying to what they said. The question called for what did they do?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Ms. Mathewson, did the children follow you out of your bedroom
They did.
when the
And I don't know if you guys noticed just now, the husband is the one that called for the objection. Do you notice that? The husband, like, objection. You know, she cannot talk about what the kids saw. She has to talk about what she saw.
Defendant pulled you out of the room.
They did.
What was their demeanor?
She's a strong individual to be sitting there and having to have him object her or say anything to her at this point, because I'd be like, boy, shut up, sit down. You know what I mean? I would be so upset. Like, how dare you object me right now? Like, I'll be looking at the judge like, are y'all really letting this dude cross-examine me? She's bold, though. Very, very good bold. She said, is he a lawyer? No, he's not a lawyer. But he's another Justin Dean, right? Somebody told Justin that he can be a lawyer. So this guy fired his first 2 lawyers. And the judge told him the only way he was going to be able to move forward, that either he was going to have to keep the second lawyer or defend themselves, you know. And he said, I'll defend myself. And so he's his own lawyer, but he's not a lawyer. But you can do that. I don't know if you guys know that, but you can be your own lawyer. You do not have to take a lawyer to court. Okay. You just got to know what you're talking about. But no, he is not a lawyer.
Demeanor when they saw this happening to you?
They were in a panic.
What did they say at that time?
Objection. Hearsay.
Overruled.
I can answer.
You can answer, yes.
Okay.
I know she want to say something so bad. He's like, objection, hearsay. I would be like, Your Honor, please make him shut up.
I heard, Daddy, don't kill Mommy.
Oh, crap.
What happened when they were out there? What did they remain out there, or were they told to go elsewhere?
Trevor, I'd say, barked at them, yelled at them, get back in your mother's bed and don't come out.
Did they come out at any time while you and the defendant were struggling in the family room after that?
No.
Okay, so I said that she sent him to their room. No, so he pulled her out of bed and drug her down the hall and brought her to the family room, and he made the kids stay in the mother's room. Okay, so he brought her to the family room and made the kids stay in the mom's room.
What was the defendant's demeanor after the children went back into the room?
Just struggling with me, trying to get me under control of just trying to pin me down, trying to get me to stop fighting.
Stop fighting back.
Yes.
Stop trying to get to the door.
Yes.
Stop trying to get to where you knew a phone maybe.
Yes.
When you went to bed, you said, was it your Samsung phone, the old phone, or the new iPhone that was by your nightstand?
The new iPhone.
Where was the Samsung phone when you went to sleep on March 10th of 2017?
It was in the family room, coffee table, end table, one of those two.
When you are struggling with the defendant in that family room, is there any yelling going on, screaming, or anything like that?
Yes.
Okay, so Robbie said, hold on. She said, an old woman told me white women are taught to survive and black women are taught how to survive, if that makes sense. I think I understand what you're saying. So taught to survive as in they are more, I guess you would say, like, they're more compliant with whoever so that they can just survive, and we're not so much compliant. I kind of understand what you're saying, but it's kind of hard for me to explain it. Like, they're taught to survive, meaning they'll do whatever it takes to survive, and we're taught how to survive, meaning we gonna know how to get out. We're gonna know how to kick your tail. We're gonna know how to, maneuver around. I guess that's what you're saying, right? Let me know, Robbie. Or anybody else that understand how she wrote that. I understand it, but I don't think I'm explaining it right.
Is there any talking happening, any conversation happening in the family room at that point?
No.
At times, was there not struggling going on, not fighting back,
Yes.
what would happen during those times?
So either I would be so exhausted or I'd be pinned down in a way that I just couldn't struggle or move. And I would hear a call from the bedroom, "Mommy." And I would answer back, "It's all right, I'm okay."
What was the defendant's demeanor at that when those things would happen?
Non-reactive.
At some point, or when you were in the family room and you knew Brent and Grady were with you, did you ever see Arden
No.
there? Did you know where she was at that time?
All this was going on. Arden, the 14-year-old, is in the car texting him like, "Dad, are y'all coming? Are y'all coming?" And he's texting back, "Yeah, I just need a little bit more time. I just need a little bit more time."
No.
Did you ever call out for her?
No.
Did you ever, when you that night had picked up Arden, Brent, and Grady, Landon was left with the defendant. Did you see Landon in your home that night?
No.
What were you wearing that evening? What did you wear to bed?
Pajamas.
What kind of pajamas?
I can't recall, but I wear pajamas to bed.
Would you normally wear like a t-shirt? Would it be top and bottoms?
It would normally be like a t-shirt and a pair of pajama pants.
Okay. And that evening when you saw the defendant in the family room, what was he wearing?
A pair of jeans, a black t-shirt, and he had tied on his belt loops scarves all the way around his pants, and it made it look like he was wearing like a dress, but it was scarves.
When you say he had scarves on his pants,
Why do y'all think he had scarves tied all around his pants? Like, that's weird. Y'all don't think he was going to tie her up with those scarves, huh? He already was planning that. Scarves all around his waist, like he had on a dress.
what color were they?
They were white, pink, and peach.
Did you recognize those scarves when you got out to the family room and realized what they were tied around his waist?
I did.
What were they?
They were scarves that were mine, that were left behind at the Newberry Grove Loop home. They were left in the closet of his home in a metal bin with a lid.
Were those your scarves?
They were.
And so those were things that you had never transported to your new home on Dew Bloom. Is that correct?
Correct.
What is he writing down? Like, what are you writing down, sir? I'm going to need to know what you are writing. Oh, no, they wasn't white or pink. They were blue and yellow. Like, really?
Did you ask him what he was doing with those scarves tied on his waistband?
Yes, it was dark in both the bedroom and in the family room. And one of the times in the struggle that he had me pinned down, I asked, "What do you have on you?" I wasn't sure what these things were that were hanging. And he said that they were scarves, and then I recognized that they were indeed scarves. And as it got lighter out, I could see them more.
When the children were still, when Brent and Grady were still there at the house, did he ever do anything with the scarves that you recall?
No.
At some point, do you see Arden?
Yes.
And where do you see her?
After a few hours, I was being held in the corner of the family room, and she came through the front door and walked straight back the hallway, back to the master bedroom.
Wow.
And I heard, "Come on, let's go." And I watched as she and Bryn and Grady walked up the hallway and out the front door.
Did you know Arden was going to be entering the home when that happened?
No,
So the defendant didn't tell you Arden's coming to get the kids, anything like that?
no.
So Arden came in to get the other two kids, but I'm just wondering, like, why didn't the mommy yell out to her or say, Arden, Arden, like, what? The 14-year-old just walked by and see mommy tied up in a corner? Like, that sounds really creepy.
When she walked in the home, did you say anything to her?
No,
Did you have any idea where she had been?
no,
Did you say anything to Bryn and Grady
no,
or Arden when they left the house?
no,
Did you know where they were going?
no.
Mommy, what's wrong with you, girl? I would have been screaming my ass off. Like, what? I don't get that part. Maybe she was just in shock. Like, what the hell? You know, I don't know. This sounds weird.
Was Arden similar to Landon in that she was upset about you and the defendant getting a divorce?
Yes, she was.
See, and that right there make couples stay together longer when them kids be getting mad. Them kids don't be wanting you to get a divorce. And that's what I'm telling you. That's why a lot of people stay married for a longer time than they should, because of the kids. Them kids be like, I don't give a damn what's going on. Y'all need to stay together until I'm 50 years old. And then y'all can do whatever y'all want to do. It sounds like Daddy had got Arden wrapped around his finger for a moment, I think. What do y'all think in the comments? Tell me.
Did you see Landon at any point when Arden came in to get Bryn and Grady?
I knew he was there. I don't recall if I saw him. If I saw him, it was very, very quick.
How did you know he was there?
I must have seen him because I knew he was there. He must have been in the doorway when she came in, but I remember knowing he was there.
If they ask me about something that happened 5 years ago, I mean, I'm going to be like, let me think for a second. Like, I would not be able to just, just tell you everything that happened 5 years ago. Like, that's wild. I mean, but traumatic experience, you do tend to hold on to them. So I guess that's what it is. But all the little eaches, what they had on, what color they were wearing and that type of stuff. Now you lost me on that one.
Did you make any statement to Landon when you saw him?
No.
When the kids go out the front door, where's the defendant when the kids are walking out the front door?
He was holding me in the farthest corner of that family room, like the last seat of the couch, the furthest from the door. And I would say he was on top of me, but he was really like wrapped around my body, holding me in place.
So you were not able to run out the front door, is that correct?
No.
Do you know where the children went?
No.
Did you ask the defendant where the children were going?
Yes.
And what did he tell you?
He told me that his parents came to get the kids and and to take them home.
And what?
So he told her the parents came to get the kids and was going to take the kids to the parents' house. He didn't know that the 14-year-old was driving home. Make that make sense. Hey, Queen Fee, I see you, girl. I'll call you later.
What kind of car did Trevor Summers have on this date?
I had no understanding of his car. I'd never seen his car. He told me that he bought a new Chrysler Pacifica.
But you had not seen it today?
I had not seen it.
Okay. After the children, first of all, let me stop. Do you have any idea what time what time frame this is when the children leave? Are you looking at a clock? Do you have access to a clock? when you're in that family room area?
There's no clock in the family room.
When the children leave, what happens next?
The same demeanor he had while sitting on the couch, the restraining me, holding my body, was the way that he escorted me back to the master bedroom. He guided me, and I mean, I was exhausted now, and he took me into the master bedroom, and that's when I saw the time, approximately between 5:30, 6 o'clock area.
During, from the first time that you saw him from 3 o'clock until 5:30, 6 o'clock, after you had been trying to get out the front door, and then he guides you to the back, what was your mindset as far as whether or not you were going to be able to try to get out of the house anymore?
I tried as much as I could to get help and to get out the front door, not just.
I mean, did she scream? Like, you know, you would think that if you, that house is kind of low to the ground, and you would think that somebody would hear her screaming, the windows open. Like, I would be screaming my ass off. Like, it's kind of weird, but you know, but I believe her though. I really do believe her.
Just for myself, but for my kids. But I realized that he was going to overpower me every time I tried to do anything. So at this point, I've completely exhausted, and I'm just left in that position.
Okay. When he takes you back from the family room, where does he take you to?
He takes me to the master bedroom.
And what happens in there?
This is the first time that he ties me up. He took the scarves and he tied my hands, my
Are
wrists.
these the scarves that you had described earlier that was around his waistband?
Correct.
And what did he do with those scarves?
He tied my wrists, tied my ankles, put a sock in my mouth, and wrapped a scarf around my mouth.
He put a sock in her mouth and wrapped the dang on scarf around there too. Good Lord. I mean, damn, can she breathe?
He pulled a nylon rope from his pocket and cocoon wrapped me in this nylon rope.
When you say, was that your body or still your hands?
No, my whole body.
This nylon rope, did you recognize where this came from?
No, I'd never seen it before.
Okay, so it was not a particular item from your home, is that correct?
No.
Did he tie you up with anything else this initial time?
Yes, once I was tied there, lying on the bed, he left and came back in with my Christmas lights from my garage.
When he had left to go get these Christmas lights, were you able to get free?
I was working my way out. I was able to kind of squirm and push my feet kind of up on those ropes that were around me and was able to kind of loosen things up. And then when he came back in with the Christmas lights, he tied those Christmas lights to my bed frame. It was like a metal bed rail, and he crisscrossed them over me, securing me down to the bed.
Was there any getting out of it at that point?
No.
Were you able, did you have the sock in your mouth still, or
Yes.
so you were not able to communicate?
No.
Where did you recognize the Christmas tree lights?
Yes.
And how did you recognize them?
We had Christmas. That was my first Christmas on my own a few months earlier, and they were Christmas lights from my bin in my garage.
So you recognized them from being from your home?
Yes.
Kimberly, right now we don't know if he was abusive. The opening statement, his attorney did not mention abuse at all. Matter of fact, he said that the divorce was amicable, meaning that they agreed to it after 16 years, 5 kids, and the youngest one was 3 years old. So they did not speak of a divorce. Of abuse. However, they both had restraining orders against them that they could not go to each other's home. So something was going on. We just don't know yet. Maybe it'll come out.
What
And Good Eats. No, I haven't heard of that story, but you can send it to my inbox and I'll look into it.
was the defendant saying anything to you? Were you saying anything to him when he was tying you up, either with the scars or with tying you down to the bed?
Not at this point.
Was there any conversation that had occurred in the family room?
No.
Ms. Johnson, whenever I don't.
Oh, wait a minute. You talking about Christopher Watts? I think I did hear about that, where he unalived his 2 daughters and his wife. Yes, Christopher Watts. Yes, I did hear of that Christopher Watts story. Yes, I did. That was an interesting one too. Did you guys hear? Did everybody hear about the Christopher Watts story?
Interrupt you, but it's 3 o'clock. Whenever you get to a good breaking point, we'll do our afternoon break.
Yes, Your Honor. Were you on speaking terms with the defendant at this time, or was it solely the communication was based around the children?
The communication at this time was only through attorneys
Damn.
and our oldest daughter, who's 14, like, okay, I'm gonna pick you up at the playground. I didn't communicate at all with Trevor Summers.
Was there
Oh, so they didn't even speak at all. She said only through the attorneys and the 14-year-old daughter. So they didn't have no communication except for through the attorneys and their oldest daughter. They did not speak.
and this I'm speaking about in March 10th of 2017. That was it. It was through attorneys.
Yes.
And it was through your oldest daughter to pick up the other children.
Correct.
Either her or the other children.
Correct.
Judge, I think we can take a break now.
Okay, gentlemen of the jury, we are going to take our afternoon break. Please do not discuss the case amongst.
Okay, so they about to take a break. So let's talk for a second. Oh, you know what? I think I deleted it out. Hold on. I think I deleted it out. Let's do 10 more minutes and then we're gonna have some conversation, okay? 10 more minutes. I cut out the break. I did. I forgot.
Welcome back. We are going to pick up where we left off with the direct examination of this witness.
Ms. Summers, Ms. Mathewson, I apologize. I want to take you back for a moment to Friday, March 10th of 2017. You had explained why Landon did not come to your home that night. Cooper, why didn't he come that night?
Trevor Summers did not release him to come to my
So
house.
you had Arden, Brennan Grady, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. When you are being tied down to the bed, are you fighting back?
Oh yeah, goodies. You just came in late, honey. He is representing himself. She said, who? She said, wait a minute. Was that him? Yes. He is representing himself. He's his own attorney at this point. So he's the one that's saying objection and all that stuff.
Struggling at that time, or what were you doing?
As much as I could fight back, I did. As much as I could try to get loose, I did. But at some point, I came to the realization of my situation. I am stuck. I'm tied to this bed. I'm not getting out.
Okay. And you had briefly stated there was an injunction in place prior to March 10th of 2017. Is that correct?
Yes.
I thought she was about to ask her why was the injunction in place. I think it's interesting for the courts to know why in the world do you guys have restraining orders against each other? So they must have put it on mute.
May I approach the witness, Judge? Ms. Mathewson, I'm showing you what's been identified as State's Exhibit AA for identification purposes.
I'm sorry, did you say AA?
AA. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And is it a fair and accurate copy of the temporary injunction that was in place on March 10th of 2000?
Okay, they about to go with a restraining order, y'all. Let's listen. Let's listen.
State's Exhibit AA.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, you have an objection?
No, I do not.
I'm not hesitating to be admitted, but on the exhibit list, I don't see an AA. I see an A1, an A2, and A3.
It's on the second page, Judge.
Oh, okay.
We go through the whole alphabet, and then we got to start over.
Not a problem. All right, so it is states AA, and it will be admitted at this time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So that looks like his attorney right there, doesn't it? But maybe he hasn't fired him at this point, you guys. But I know that he cross-examined her. But, you know, they're not at that part yet. So he did the cross-examining when it came to his wife, okay? Ex-wife, estranged wife, whatever you want to call it.
I see it.
Permission to publish,
You
Judge?
may publish it to the jury.
So D. Thomas said, who is that sitting next to him? I'm assuming that's the attorney. That's his attorney sitting next to him. But for some reason, somewhere in this case, he fired him, okay? He fired him and he took over, and he is the one that cross-examining. He is the one that cross-examined his ex-wife.
Ms. Mathewson, this is the first page of that document, and it lists you as the petitioner versus Trevor Summers as the respondent. Is that correct?
Yes.
And it's for a temporary injunction for protection against domestic violence with minor children.
Yes.
And there was a hearing date that was scheduled for March 7th of 2017, which was prior to the March 10th, 2017. Is that correct?
Yes.
Did that hearing date get continued?
I sent my attorney. I didn't go to that hearing.
Okay. Did you receive a new date?
Yes.
And when was that new date scheduled for?
It was scheduled for the week of March 13th, someday that week. I believe it was the 15th, possibly.
Okay. Do you know if the continuance was made by the defendant or by his attorney on his behalf?
Yes.
Did you?
Okay, so she was granted a temporary restraining order. So what do we say? For a person to be granted a temporary restraining order, there has to be a what do we call it? A threat or something like that, or threat of your life or threat of harm, threat of danger. So a temporary order was granted, and they were supposed to be going to a final hearing or a hearing. So a temporary order was granted, meaning that there was some type of threat of harm, danger, or something of that nature, okay? But they had it against each other. But now we do know, and we've seen this with our own eyes, that one person in the relationship would go get a restraining order, and the other person would go get mad, and what would they do? They would go get a restraining order too. Okay, we've seen that in multiple cases that we've talked about, where one person go get a restraining order and the other person say, well, you got one, I'm going to get one on your ass too, okay? So they go and get a restraining order as well. Not necessarily meaning that there was real harm or real danger, but if you tell the judge that you're in some type of danger or have some type of harm, a temporary order will be granted.
Did you ask that this March 7th date get moved?
No.
The temporary injunction, even though the hearing date for whether or not a permanent injunction is going to be granted, did not affect this temporary injunction. Is that your understanding?
Yes.
So on March 10th, March 11th, March 12th, March 13th of 2017, this injunction was still binding, was still effective.
Correct.
Showing you publishing the last page, which shows a document filed February 22nd of 2017 at 3:59 p.m. It shows that Trevor Summers, the respondent, was identified via Florida DL and was served with this document. Is that correct?
Yes.
Do you recall the date in which you sought your petition for the injunction?
It was a holiday that Monday, so I had to go in on that Tuesday. Would be the 21st, February 21st would have been that Tuesday.
And showing you the second to last page of this document where Judge Gabbard signs this on February 21st of 2017 at 6:38:22 p.m. So the day before Trevor Summers was served with this document, correct?
Correct.
We're going to go into why you sought this injunction. Judge, maybe you approach for a moment.
Absolutely.
So they're going to go into why she was given that restraining order. Okay, so right here you can tell that is the lawyer. So he's still on the case as of right now. But somewhere down the line, Trevor didn't think he was doing a great job or something to that effect, and he fired him, okay? So, of course, we can't hear. I'm going to do about 5 more minutes, and then we're going to have a conversation, and we're going to pick it back up tomorrow. Because I do want us to talk. I don't want us to just listen to the whole thing. I'm scared to fast forward it, because I know if I fast forward it, it's going to be. Let me just see.
February 18th.
Oh, shit.
Submitted by the defendant will be considered by you for the limited purpose of proving motive, opportunity.
Hold on, let's go back a little bit. Let's see what this this judge is reading off. I don't know if he's reading off the restraining order. I find that weird that the judge would read it, though, instead of an attorney. She said, hey, chat, just join it. I can't hear. Is it just me? Yeah, Carla, I think it might just be you. Just step out for a second and come back in and turn your phone. Oh, no, you can't hear because they're on mute right now. They have us muted. They're talking to the judge. Can you hear me?
Ladies and gentlemen, I have a brief instruction for you at this time. Oh, I don't need the microphone. The evidence that you are about to receive concerning other crimes, wrongs, or acts allegedly committed by the defendant will be considered by you for the limited purpose of proving motive, opportunity, intent, preparation, plan, knowledge.
Okay, so I know what he's doing, you guys. So basically he's saying, listen, what you are about to hear that's in this temporary restraining order, you only can use it to establish a motive as to why he would do the things that he's doing, okay? Like the judge is going to set boundaries for what they're about to hear, like what type of person he was or why she got a restraining order against him in the first place. It has to be used for like motive, okay? That's what he's doing. He's providing a limited scope or some type of scope for the information that he's reading off or that's going to be read off.
Absence of mistake or accident, and to corroborate the testimony of Alisa Summers, and you shall consider it only as it relates to those issues. However, the defendant is not on trial for a crime, wrong, or act that is not included in the information. You may proceed.
Ms. Mathewson, yes. You got an injunction on February 21st of 2017.
Correct.
Why did you get an injunction on that date?
Because Trevor Summers held me against my will at knife point on February 18th
Good
of
Lord.
2017?
of 2017.
Good Lord. Did y'all hear that? So he had already held her against her will at knife point before. So he had already done this before. Well, somewhat of it. See, let me tell y'all something. People, they be trying to tell the courts things, right? Like, oh, this dude is crazy. This dude is harassing me. This dude is threatening me. This dude is doing this. Like, what does it really take? Like, you would think this dude will already be in jail. How in the world is he not? If somebody held you at knife point, shouldn't they already be behind bars? Like, is that not a crime? What? Like, oh, you held me at knife point, you just go back to your house and I go back to my house. Like, hello? What?
So we're going to talk about that incident for a little bit. How is it that you came to be in contact with the defendant on February 18th of 2017?
And why are they letting his kids go around him? What? Wait a minute. Hold on. So he held her at knife point and he still get to visit his kids? It was only a matter of time before he did something else. Wow.
He contacted me and wanted to do a marriage settlement agreement. He was being extremely kind to me. We were trying to, I thought we were being an amicable divorce, which is what I had wanted. I had wanted to be able to co-parent for the kids. And he was being very nice, was agreeing that the marriage was over, was agreeing to get me a marriage settlement agreement, and asked me to come to his home where he would have a notary.
Was that at the Newberry Grove Loop?
Yes.
Did you agree to go to his home on that date to discuss the final divorce and marriage settlement?
Yes.
And do you recall approximately when you went there on that date?
Around lunchtime?
And when you got there, were the children there?
No.
And what happened when you arrived at that Newberry Grove Loop?
The notary was not there, but he said that she would be coming soon, and that he wanted to talk to me first. He wanted to basically go over all the faults in the marriage, the mistakes that he had made, and said that he was accepting that the marriage was over, and that he had already prepared the marriage settlement agreement, but asked me if I would have sex with him one last time in our marriage.
And you had been married for 16 years and had...
Okay, do y'all think she did it? She said that he was like, can we just have sex one last time? What would y'all do? If you already filed for a divorce, you want the relationship over, you don't want to be with the person no more, are you having bye-bye sex? Huh? Are you saying, okay, just one more time? Just one more time, you getting these cookies one more time, and after this is done, Trevor. You can't have these cookies no more, dude. It's over. All right, I'm going to give you just this one last time. I'm going to break you off nice, and I need you to go ahead and find you a replacement because you can't get none of this no more, okay? Now, what's wrong with Trevor? Now, Trevor, you are not an unattractive man, but the coochie must have been fine. What is wrong with her? Trevor, what's going on, honey? He just wanted it one more time, baby. Trevor said, let me just hit it one more time. Now Trevor don't sound like no white guy saying that. He sound like a brother. Now the brother be saying, let me just hit one more time. Just one more hit. Just one more hit. That's it. Just one more hit. One more hit. Then we can go on separate ways. Just one more good one. Trevor wanted to make love just one more time, baby.
Together, is that correct?
Correct.
So is that something that you did agree to?
I did.
Was that sex consent?
She agreed. Oh, Lord. She agreed. Listen, they had filed for divorce. They was at the settlement stage. And she said, all right, I'll give it to you one more time. Just one more. She agreed, y'all. She agreed. Would y'all agree? Hey, Robbie said, I knew it. And that's what got him. Listen, she thought she was about to have sex with him one more time and he was just going to walk away. Hell to the no. He said, girl, you mine. You are mine, baby.
Yes.
And so what happened after that?
The notary came and we sat with the notary. We had the forms notarized.
So they didn't have sex before the notary didn't came, but the notary looking at both of them like, I smell some sex up in here. I smell sex. What am I doing here? I smell sex all over the both of y'all. Y'all know you should be ashamed of yourselves.
Notarized.
Was everything in the agreement, everything he had told you that he was going to do?
Yes.
And what were those things? You said he was being very nice.
He was 50-50 custody of the children, child support and alimony, and just an agreement of splitting holidays and things along those lines.
So this man being nice, he didn't agree to everything. He said, I'm going to pay you child support, 50% custody, and let's talk about the holidays. Now, come on now. And he wanted to have sex one last time. Yeah, he wasn't letting you go, girl. He was not letting you go.
And was he going to provide you a check on that day?
Yes.
What was that check? Couldn't be in the
It was
amount.
$25,000.
And give her $25,000. So wait a minute, hold on. Trevor said hell to the no. Listen, Trevor was supposed to give her $25,000, a little Peter Jeter, 50% custody, child support, and they're gonna split the holidays. Oh yeah, she was asking for a lot. Alisa was asking for a lot. Trevor said hell to the no. You want me to give you all that? Woo, Lord.
And I believe a second check for the first week of child support.
And
Wait a minute, hold on. Did she just say $25,000 was for child support? Let me go back. What Trevor do? Trevor, hold on, $25,000? Let's go back a little bit, y'all. What the hell did Trevor do?
February 18th
of 2017.
of 2017.
So we're going to talk about that incident for a little bit.
Hold on, I think I went
and
too far.
I did.
And that was consensual.
Yes.
After the sex, did you leave at that point?
He had made something to eat. I ate with him, and then I said, I really have to get home to the children.
Let's go back to the $25,000. I want to know, was that supposed to be child support?
Everything he had told you that he was going to do.
Yes.
And what were those things? You said he was being very nice.
He was 50-50 custody of the children, child support and alimony, and just an agreement of splitting holidays and things along those lines.
And was he going to provide you a check on that day?
Yes.
What was that check? Couldn't be in the
It was
amount.
$25,000, and I believe a second check for the first week of child support.
Oh, it was $25,000 and a second check for the first week or second week of child support or something like that. So she didn't have some sex and dinner? And dinner? Wow.
And so the notary came. Did all the documents get signed and notarized?
Yes.
What happened next?
He asked me if I would stay and have a drink with him.
And did you do that?
I did.
What did you have to drink?
I had a martini.
Does the defendant drink alcohol?
Yes, I believe he had like a scotch or a whiskey, something along those lines.
Okay. And is there any more conversation that takes place on that day?
No, just that we were going to be friends, that we were going to be able to move forward for the kids.
See, now, if Trevor played his cards right, Trevor could have had a few more nights of good sex and a martini. You know what I mean? If he played his cards right. But he ain't play his cards right. You know what I mean? Because if she having sex with him the day before they sign, or the day of them signing the documents, then she would have had sex with him again later on, okay? She would have. She sure would have, okay?
And that, it seemed like we were just going to have a nice friendship.
Did you then leave after that?
I didn't. He said, well, now that we have signed this agreement and it's notarized, it's kind of like we're not married now. Can we have sex again? And I did.
Damn! What is wrong with Trevor? Trevor, how old is this couple? Let me find out how old Trevor is. Damn, they like rabbits. Oh, Jesus. They had sex before the notary came over. Now they about to bust another nut. They gotta be in their 30s or something like that, or early 40s, because who doing that? Who busting two nuts like that? I got to find out the age. Now, listen, I don't even know how old they are, but let me check right quick. Hold on, Trevor Summers, age. How old was this brother? Okay, the daughter was 14. Hold on. He 45. He was 45 years old, y'all. He was, no, well, okay, 45. So he was 40. Because at the time he went to court, he was 45. So he was 40 years old, honey. He was a rabbit. She's like, and look, she was embarrassed to say it. Well, he was like, well, like, we're not divorced. We didn't sign the papers. I mean, can we just do it one more time? Listen, I'm telling y'all, a week from then, she would have been having sex with him again. He ain't play his cards right. Because, honey, let me tell you something. She was forever going to be having sex with that joker. That's crazy to me. She's like, yeah, I did. I did it again.
And did you do that?
I did.
What did you have to drink?
I had a martini.
Did the defendant drink alcohol?
Trevor was like a little rabbit, wasn't he? Trevor said, I want to hunch. I just want to hunch one more time.
And is there any more conversation that takes place on that day?
No, just that we were going to be friends, that we were going to be able to move forward for the kids, and that, it seemed like we were just going to have a nice friendship.
Did you then leave after that?
I didn't. He said, well, now that we have signed this agreement and it's notarized, it's kind of like we're not married now. Can we have sex again? And I did.
And that was consensual?
Yes.
Girl.
After the sex, did you leave at that point?
He had made something to eat. I ate with him, and then I said, I really have to get home to the children. I need to leave. I went out the front door, and he said, I almost forgot I have something else for you. And we went back inside, and I followed him in to the house and followed him into the master bedroom.
What happened when you got into the master bedroom?
It's a hallway, and he went through the hallway and turned into, he normally keeps his safe and things in the closet, so he went into the closet.
Is that closet within the master bedroom?
It is, and the door of the closet faces the master bed, and he turned into the closet and turned back and pushed me down onto the bed and pulled a knife out from between the mattress and the box spring, and he held a machete at my chest.
Well, maybe it was that time he had the machete, y'all. Maybe it wasn't the night he snuck in the window. But Trevor, she just gave him two nuts. She just let him bust two times, right? And now he mad. They didn't have drinks, they didn't have food, and he got two nuts. What else does he want from her at this point? Do he want it again? Because why the machete? I don't understand that part. I got the hiccups, y'all.
What happened at that point?
He opened the end table, and there was rope and duct tape, and he told me if I cooperated, he would not tie me up, and he would not use the rope or the duct tape.
What?
And what did he mean by cooperate? Did you know at that point?
He told me that he was not okay with the divorce, that what I had done and destroyed the family, that he was not going to take this, and that I was going to stay and listen to him.
Were you able to?
Damn, Trevor. Trevor, little mean joker, but I'm telling y'all be dating them real light-skinned guys. And excuse me, I got the freaking hiccups, but y'all be dating them real light-skinned guys. That's what they be doing. I'm just here to tell y'all, okay?
To leave at that point.
No.
What took place after that?
I was
How you gonna sign and then say you really don't want it? What?
held for a few hours and just sat on the bed, stayed still, stayed calm, spoke to him, told him that I understood how he was upset, and that if he let me go, that we would forget about this and that nothing would happen. Just let me go.
Why did you stay calm and try to convince him to let you go?
Because I figured I'd be able to talk my way out of it, and he would let me go. Like, he made a mistake and just let me go.
Did he let you?
She think putting a machete to her neck was a mistake? Girl, what? Is she? Oh my God. Girl, a machete? Oh my goodness. She said, the more get rid of the reed cups. I'm getting ready to get rid of it.
You go.
Yes, eventually I was able to talk him down, calm him down, and I got into my car and left.
And prior to him letting you leave, did you promise him that you were not going to call the police?
I did.
Once you left, did you in fact call the police?
As soon as I pulled out of his driveway.
And did you, after that, is that when you ultimately sought the injunction?
Yes.
And so you had described that your relationship then in March of 2017, that you two were not speaking.
No, we were not.
You did not go to his house to pick up the children. It was at a public area.
Correct.
I don't understand why the judge didn't give. I mean, being that happened, why did the judge still allow him to see his kids? Because he could have tried to harm the kids just to get back at her. Like, that don't really make no sense to me unless she didn't, unless she wanted him to see the kids. But I just thought that was kind of strange. If he put a machete to your throat, he would not be seeing my kids at all.
So we're going to go back to talking about, we're in the early morning hours, early afternoon of March 11th of 2017. You were tied down to the bed. What is happening at this point? You're tied up and you're tied to the bed.
And I don't understand, if a man if anybody, man or female, right? If they put a machete to your neck, why is it a temporary restraining order? Why the judge won't make it permanent right then and there? And even if they say, oh, he has to have a hearing, why a whole 30 days? I need the hearing now. Like, come on. Like, I don't get this part right here. Like, they be failing these people that's saying that they dealing with some psychos, some crazy knuckleheads. They be failing these people.
What, does he remain in the bedroom?
So this is, I got first tied up about approximately 6 a.m. on that Saturday morning. After he used the Christmas lights to tie me to the bed rails, he went and got the vacuum, and brought the vacuum in and used the vacuum cord to go underneath the mattress and wrap around.
Good Lord.
Down.
Is any conversation happening when this is, and what is his demeanor?
He, at this point, does remove the sock and the scarf from my mouth, and his demeanor was that he's been upset about the divorce, that he is getting a boat and going out and disappearing and getting out in international water. So that's the, as soon as he removes from me, I ask, where are the children? Where are the kids at? I'm tied to the bed. You've just removed the sock and the scarf from my mouth, and I want to know where my children are. That is the first conversation.
And so what did he tell you about where the children were?
He told me that his parents drove from Riverview up to Valrico and came in and collected the children.
And so was the first time that you learned how the children left, was it at that time, or was it when shortly after the children had walked out of the home?
It was at that time.
Okay. And so when he had told you that his parents had come and gotten the children, did you have any reason to believe anything else, or that they got home any other way?
No.
Does he put the sock back in your mouth at this point?
No, because I was having some problems breathing. I had been trying to breathe through my mouth. I had some congestion, and I just asked him, like, I'm not going to scream, just... And so he did not put the sock back in my mouth.
Okay.
We're going to stop there, you guys. Listen, let's have a conversation. We're going to finish this up. Well, we're going to start back tomorrow. It's like 2 hours long, and we are already at the 56-minute mark of this one. Oh, let me see. Hold on one second. Let me see. We at the 56 minutes, and it go all the way to 2:16. So we're going to take this down. Let's have a conversation. Look. Oh, my goodness. So raise your hand if you believe Alisa's story. Do you believe everything Alisa is saying? Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you believe her. Put thumbs down if there is a thumb down. If you think that, maybe she gave him a little bit too much of false hope, maybe, if that's a good one, because it sounded like a couple of things she said was like, well, if you don't do this, then I won't do this, or if you do this, then, and I'll do this. So do you think she gave him a little false hope that maybe he can, that they can get back together as a family? Or put like a 5 in the chat if you like throw the whole family away. No, I'm just kidding. But like WTF. So Ms. Hurd gave a thumbs up and thumbs down, but she said I mostly believe her, but there are some weirdness. Okay. Who else think that there's a little bit of something else going on with this? Did she give, mixed messages? Okay, Steffi said mixed messages. All right, Marissa said the mixed messages was to free herself. Hey, Favor. Favor said, I do. I could imagine her story. She gave him too much hold over her. Okay, you mean she gave him too much hold in the beginning, or too much hold trying to get away? If you put a knife to my throat, you're not seeing my kids. I don't give a damn what the judge said. You're not getting my kids. I'm not meeting with you. You're not getting the kids. If you put a knife to my throat, then we're going to have to, the judge will have to see my face and tell me that I still got to give you my kids. That's one I'm going to have to go get locked up over right there. D. Thomas says she seems a little bit native and slow. Okay, who else thinks she seemed a little slow, a little off? I think she only told him what he wanted to hear so he could be cool. Well, a man that put a machete to your throat, you don't think that she should have had an alarm system, a dog or something for protection? Like, she's a little bit too relaxed for him to have done all this to her. You don't think? Mixed messages, but she was trying to appease him. Ms. Hurd said, nope, he ain't seeing my kids. Mine either. Knowing how I was treated, I wouldn't be meeting him alone. She didn't meet him. She dropped the kids off at the playground, but still, I wouldn't even done that. I think she only told him, okay, I read that, trying to get away. So you think she's just trying to get away, so she was just saying anything? I won't tell anybody you put the knife to my throat. I'll just do whatever you tell me to do. I would think that if you're capable, tell me what you think. If a man is capable of putting a machete, we ain't talking about no butter knife, we talking about a whole machete to your throat, would you trust him around your kids? Would you? This man said you trying to break up the family. Would you really trust him around your children? I would really think that he doesn't have if you don't have my best interest in mind, I know you don't have my kids' best interest in mind. Like, let's be honest. If you don't have the mother, and I'm going to say it loudly, if you don't have your child's mother best interest in mind, you don't have your child's best interest in mind. Now, I believe that. Like, you cannot want her unalive or you know, broke, busted, homeless if you care about your children. She probably couldn't afford an alarm system. Let me tell you something. They have alarm system. I'm about to put y'all on game now. We don't have this, but they have alarm systems that's not monitored, not monitored. But they still do the same shit. They just don't go to the 911 dispatcher. Okay? So for some of y'all that don't know, they have alarm systems that's not monitored. You can monitor it. Well, it's not monitored by a company. You can monitor it yourself. Because I remember my husband had told me one day when we was in another house, he said, we don't need to get no monitoring system. We can monitor it ourselves. I said, boy, if you don't call that monitoring system right now. But you can you can go to Amazon and get you an alarm system for probably like $10, $20 or something like that. And Mrs. Hurd said she got a $25,000 check the same day. She gave him coochie 2 times. $25,000. Hell, he paid for that coochie. He paid for that coochie. He said, I just gave you $25,000. You about to go and give it away for somebody else? She said, I wouldn't trust him. I wonder, did she take the check with her? I believe her to a fact. I do think that they had sex that night. So you don't think, okay, so all right, look, that's interesting. So Pre-Coop TV don't think that it was the R word the night he came through the window. What do y'all think? She said that he R'd her twice when he came through that window. What do y'all think? Was it R or was it consensual? Because the husband said it was consensual too. We ain't got to that part yet. But she said he R'd her. What do y'all think? Now, this is only a month after he put that machete to her neck. This happened 1 month after. So Mrs. Hurd said, I think he R'd her. Okay. Meek said, yeah, I know because I have an alarm system on my house that's monitored by myself. I got from Best Buy. See? And we had an alarm system on our apartment complex because I refuse to stay in an apartment complex without an alarm system. Now, it wasn't monitored by a company, but it was definitely an alarm system, and it was monitored by us. Okay, us. She admitted having sex. No. She admitted to previously having sex, but I'm saying, oh, okay, I see what you're saying, Mrs. Hurd. You're saying that if she really did have sex with him the night he climbed through the window, she would have admitted it. Is that what you're saying? So you're saying, why lie about the night he climbed through the window? Why lie about having sex with him then if she admitted to having sex with him a month ago? Okay, I got you. I'm following. I wonder if she played dead having sex. Why you say that? Are you talking about when he R'd her? Did she play like she was, like, was she just still and stiff? She probably was. I think, I don't know too many people, if they're getting the R word, I don't know if they participate. I think they literally just lay there. But to be honest with you, I think that's what the man wants. Like, I think they get, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a man, but I would think that they would get a thrill out of doing it, and you're like, like you don't want it, and they're taking it. You know what I'm saying? I think the thrill of taking it is what they like about it or whatever. She said, was there an order for him to continue to have visitation after the abuse? Yes. They continued to drop the kids off. Even that night, he had 2 of the kids. When he climbed through her window, he had 2 of the kids. He had the kids to go sit in the van with the 14-year-old sister. He had 2 of the kids with him. Was her emotions in it? I mean, I don't know. I don't know if her emotions was in it. I wasn't there, Favor. I was not there, and I don't know if she said she enjoyed it or not. Sure do. I stopped our ADT monitoring a few years ago. Someone is always at home and we ain't playing. Okay, Steffi, that's what I'm saying. Alarm system you could pay for yourself. Everybody can have one. He probably did. He sounded like he would. Okay. I think it was R when he came in via the window. This was not a welcome home. Yeah, you come through my window, but I don't know now. We heard Sierra said that the guy came through her window and they had sex and he walked out the door. Now, I mean, I ain't trying to, be funny, but she did say that Rex, her baby daddy, the fifth one, that he climbed through the window, he R'd her, but somehow she let him out the door and she never called the police on him now. So, I mean, does it start off with the R and then end in the consensual? I mean, is that a thing? I don't know. Y'all tell me. I don't think so. I mean, if I said no, it means no, unless you my man. Now, my husband, if I tell him no, and somehow in the middle of the night I feel some pokey inside of me, I might just go on and let him. I might just get into it. You know what I mean? She said that part of his MO and control. Yep. I think she was afraid and didn't want to fight back. So that's the R word. Okay. When someone SAU is not about sex, but exerting power and control over the victim. Yeah, I believe that, but I don't know now. He anti-violence. I hear you and I understand exactly what you're saying. But for some reason, this guy really enjoyed her sex. He had sex with her 2 times when they signed the paperwork. They had sex before they signed the paperwork and they had sex after the paperwork. So he really did enjoy her sex or something. Shantae said, I believe in his mind that he was R-ing her. Oh, that he wasn't R-ing her. He felt like she still belonged to him. Even after the divorce was final? Well, oh, wait a minute. It wasn't final. It wasn't final yet because people think when they sign that that's it, but that's not true. You have to sign and then it has to go before a judge and then the judge sign and that's when it's final. So you're saying what he's trying to say in court, that they wasn't divorced yet, so it wasn't R. So you're saying that in his mind, he's like, we're still married, so it's not the R word. Okay. Robbie says she's slow. She just slow. She's slow. Robbie said, look, I don't know what's going on, but the girl just slow. The lady's slow. D. Thomas said, okay, I had to exit and come back in. Okay, all right. Favor says she only called the police because of the threat with the knife. Her life was threatened. Yeah, because she was about to leave. They had a drink, they had dinner, and some good sex. She was about to leave, and she thought they was about to be best friends, okay? I don't know why y'all think that y'all can be best friends with y'all baby daddies, okay, after the marriage is over, the relationship is over. Why y'all want to be best friends with them? If you weren't best friends in a relationship, why y'all want to exit relationship and be best friends with your baby daddy? Why? I could see y'all being cordial, but best friends? If y'all was best friends, then why y'all couldn't be best friends together? Y'all better stop falling for that okie dokie, okay? She said, I'm cool as F with mine. All right now, D. Thomas. Hey, you still having sex with him, D. Thomas? Don't put that thing on him now, girl. Don't put that thing on him. She gave him up. Wait a minute. She gave him up to the machete, but after that, I don't think she was up for it again. Though fear is a factor to that, brings different response from people. Yeah, you pulled out a machete on me, but do you think that's the first time that he ever did something like that? Because if you pull a machete out on me, that's why I don't understand why she still let him have the kids. I'm assuming that he may have done something like that before, and she was able to talk calm to him because she said, I just told him to calm down and that if he let me go, I would never tell anybody that he put a machete to my neck. I just calmed him down. She was used to calming him down. So do y'all think that he may have had manic episodes or something like that during the marriage? Because she had to do a lot of calming him down. I just calmed him down a little bit. Just calmed him down. Look, get somebody else to do it. Favor said, friends with benefits only. Woo, child. I can't be friends with benefits with none of my exes. No way, baby. The marriage does not take your rights to consent to or not to consent to sex. Exactly. You're right about that, anti-violence. Oh, see, now we ain't best friends though. LOL. Not when you put a machete to my neck. We ain't no best friends. I try to be best friends with my ex-husband because we literally grew up together, but grew apart. But he told me I triggered him and didn't want to be my friend. Your ex said, hell no, I ain't trying to be your friend. Go ahead on now. Jazz. He like, I don't want to be your friend because we're going to be sleeping together. That's what he probably was thinking. Child, I'm going to want some of that. Yum, yum. Meek said, I don't understand why men don't think that they can R their wives just because they are married. Yep, you're right. But a lot of us probably done been R'd and we don't even look at it like that because, you know, after they done start, we get into it and we be like, forget being mad or whatever the case may be. But a lot of us probably have been R'd a time or two. Oh my God. That ain't funny. That ain't funny. It ain't funny. Big Big said, I'm cool with mine, but he ain't got shit coming. What you say? You ain't about to just do one more time with him. One more time for old time's sakes. You ain't about to bump and grind. Ain't nothing wrong with a little bump and grind. You ain't doing that. You ain't bumping and grinding one more time. Kimberly said it was her way to survive. Some men do get a thrill off of RN women. He felt like they were still together. When men realize sex is over, they go bonkers. She must have had some fire sex, baby. Because, I mean, Trevor ain't no bad-looking guy. I mean, he don't look like he looked back then, but he wasn't a bad-looking guy. You know, they grew together. You know, but for him to be 45, he look older now in that, you know, while he's sitting in court. Because, I mean, I'm sure he went to prison. They probably had him in jail waiting for 5 years, you know. I don't know. I'll let y'all know, though. Cordial, and that's it. I don't need no bestie. Okay, Kayshawn. Especially not with your baby daddy. I don't want to be besties with that joker. She said, I don't think she took him serious. She didn't think he would really hurt her. That's what I'm thinking. That's why she did all that calm down stuff. I don't think that she thought that he would really hurt her. They met in high school. They met in high school. Okay, high school. That man said together forever. We together forever. Like Wakanda forever. He said Alisa forever. Marriage forever. I mean, she gave him, they gave each other 5 kids. Like, who leave after 5 kids, though? Alisa, what's going on, honey? Talk to us now. Alisa, who leaves after 5 kids? I bet you that man had some type of manic episodes where he was off his rockers a time or two during that marriage, and she just didn't put that in the divorce decree. You know what I mean? We talk a lot, we joke, we hang out. We've been in each other's lives for 29 years. And you ain't giving him no nook. Girl, she said, oh, no friends with benefits. That ship sells. She said, no, She don't give him nothing. A man can be abusive to a woman, but be fine with the children. You think so? That's a little, I don't know. I think that if he abusive to you, he gonna abuse the kids, but I don't know. And sometimes they abuse the kids to get back at you, to make you mad, especially if you like really, you love your kids and whatnot or whatever. I believe if they abusive to you, they would try to hurt the kids to just piss you off, make you mad, get up under your skin. I don't know if I can deal with that saying. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? If he's abusive to the parents, or should I say the mama, do you think that he would be abusive to the kids? I think so, but I'm not 100%. Okay, so you might be right, but I think that he would. In my mind, I would think that he would do to my kids whatever he did to me. That's what I would think. She said, my ex and I never communicated after the divorce. Do y'all have kids together? Do y'all have kids together? She said, me and mine best friends, but he wasn't abusive. Okay, you and your ex best friends? Ooh, child. Baby. She said there were dynamics of abuse in the marriage. Yes, it had to be, but they ain't said that yet, though. They ain't put it out, but he threatened her with a machete. And he had it, she said, between the mattress. Like, what? You went and got a whole machete and put it in your mattress, Trevor. Like, the man already had some things he was thinking on, you know? She said, some think they can be friends. Hell, my ex was a stalker. He was blowing up my phone. Finally, I prayed him away. Hard. He was 6'7". He was tall. He would use the Boondocks phrase. What is that? What's the Boondocks phrase? Tell me, what's the Boondock phrase? Y'all know I be knowing all that stuff. I don't watch TV like that. She was not seeing the red flags. She wasn't seeing them, or was she ignoring them? You all should read the book, Why Does He Do That? In the Minds of Angry and Controlling Men by Lundy Bancroft. Okay, so why does he do that? All right, well, maybe we need to get that book and read it. Why does he do that? All right, my ex used to use the Boondocks phrase that used to terrify me at first. I thought it was a joke, but then I kept hearing, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. I had to get away. Oh, shit. So he used to say, we could do this the easy way or the hard way? Oh, shucky ducky. Okay, all right. We could do this the easy way or the hard way. That sounds like some control shit to me. That sounded a little scary, Kim. Most victims don't realize the dangers that they are in. I agree. Listen, I totally agree. Totally. Some people on the outside can see that they in danger, that another person is in danger more than they can see it, because why they like, no, he ain't gonna do that. No, he just gonna talk a little shit. No, he just gonna cuss me out. No, he might just push on me or whatever, but he ain't gonna really like black my eye or, do anything worse, I agree with that anti-violence. She said, I think she was dealing with her current husband and it made him lose it. Okay, so you think that she was cheating with the guy she's with now and that made him flip out? You think that, Meek? Because they got married too soon. Is that what you're saying? Raise your hand if you think that she was having an affair. We talking now 5 kids, 16 years of marriage. Your youngest one is 3. You get kidnapped for 3 days, sexually assaulted, threatened, wrist cut, almost strangled to death, and you get away after 3 days of hell captured, and now you are married in less than 1 year. Well, I don't know if it was 1 year, it might be a year, but you married the next year. Do y'all think infidelity was there? Raise your hand if you think there was infidelity. Was she already messing with the new man? Let me know. Let me know. Ain't nobody answering that one. But Meek said that's exactly what I'm thinking, but I don't know. Just my opinion. Who else think like Meek? Okay, Tamara says she thinks so too. Lynn Ross coming up in the rear. She said 3. MB said highly possible. Okay, Kim said nope. Her ass was just tired of him. Okay. Who else think that she could have been having an affair? She said no, not necessarily. She just took to the new one because of the trauma. Oh, so you think the new one is a trauma bond? Okay, San said no idea. Jazz says, I think so. They're toxic. Okay. So do y'all think the new relationship is a trauma bond? I believe she was already into it. Okay. Lynn and Talonda said they think that she was already dealing with dude number 2. Dude number 2 that won her over. Shantae. Shantae said they was dealing with each other. She thinks so. We don't know though. We don't know. But she did say she got married. This happened in 2017. She got married, not start dating, but married in 2018. Okay, 2018, she was remarried. If she had, she would have given him a chance. If she had, she would not have given him a chance. So if she had what favor, she wouldn't have given the second guy a chance if she had did what? Her coochie good. I don't think she was cheating. You don't think she was cheating? You think the guy that she married to now in 2018, you think he married her because her coochie good? Do you think men do the things that they do? They argue and hold you hostage or whatever because you got some good coochie? I don't know. I think that he I believe that because they met in high school, he looked at her as his life partner. You know what I mean? And he had 5 kids by her. I think he probably looked at her like, you're my life partner. Like, I love you forever. She probably broke his virginity. You know what I mean? She probably broke his virginity, but I don't think that matters though. I'm just being a goofy, but I don't know. They've been together since high school though. She said maybe for the stability of the kids. Yeah, I thought about that too, Deborah. I ain't gonna lie. She probably like, shoot, I got 5 kids. She probably told the dude when she started dating him, look, I got 5 kids. I'm not dating for play. I'm dating for marriage. I'm dating for stability. I'm dating for protection. I'm dating for a provider. I don't have time to be playing house. And I believe that you women out there that's single or been with y'all man for a good amount of years and y'all ain't married, I believe y'all need to say the same thing. I'm dating for marriage. I'm not here to play house. I'm not here to play games. I'm not here for play. This ain't no dress up. We ain't kids. When you reach a certain age or when you are, you know yourself or whatever, you know that you're ready to be married, that's how you have to approach a guy. Like for real, when he asked you out for dinner and y'all had them initial conversations and he say, so what are you looking for? You need to be honest. I mean, like, I just want a little friend. No, if you want a marriage, you need to tell them. Like, I'm not dating no one for no play. To be engaged for 3 years or 7 years or 15 years. Some people be engaged for 20 years. I'm not here for no play. I'm looking for stability. There's nothing wrong with telling a man that you are looking for stability. Okay? Because either he gonna run or he gonna provide it. Okay? Period. We be so afraid of telling a man what we really, really want. And then we beat around the bush and then they be like, well, I'm really not looking for nothing serious. We be like, well, I'm not either, knowing good and doggone well you ain't there looking for no play stuff, right? But she said some people rush into another relationship for protection, especially if their ex can't keep away. Yep, that's true. Just because people are together and have 5 kids doesn't mean all is well. That's true. It doesn't mean all is well, but good Lord. I mean, 16 years and 5 kids, that's an investment to me, but I get you. But I think I would try, different things before I throw away a marriage of 16 years. Like, you have to be doing something really, really bad. Now, she already said that the relationship, they agreed to the breakup. So, I mean, she hasn't said yet, we haven't heard yet that he was abusive to her, but maybe, maybe a different type of abuse. Maybe he wasn't physically abusive, but maybe he was emotional or psychological abuse. And people don't think that, that's a thing. It's a thing and it's actually probably more, is more harmful in the relationship than it is physical, in my opinion, She said, ain't no rocking when it ain't no rocking for old time sakes with my ex. No, ain't no rocking, ain't no knocking boots for no old time sakes. No. No, the stamina, what you say, stigma is real. Many don't want to have multiple baby daddies, so they stay until they can't. Yeah, that's true. And then you don't want to put all 5 kids on another man, a burden. Some men, they may, let me tell y'all something, okay? Now, there are some amazing stepdaddies out there, okay? Amazing stepdaddy. I would have to pat my husband on the back and say he's an amazing stepdaddy. But I will have to also say he didn't start off being no amazing stepdaddy at all, okay? He did not start off that way. Actually, I didn't like how he started off at all when it came to my children, right? Anyway, some men are not good stepdaddies. I don't give a damn what it looked like on camera. I don't give a damn what it looked like on TV. I don't give a damn what it looked like in front of family and friends. Some men are not good stepdaddies, period, okay? Some of them look at it like that's your child, not mine. But in front of people, they're like, oh, I'm taking care of you and your kids. I'm taking care of these are my kids. These are my children, whatever the case may be. But some stepdaddies ain't shit, okay? They're not, right? So with that said, I would be afraid to take 5 of my babies around another man, especially when they that young. But I would be afraid of what that man may do. Because I came into the relationship with rules like you can't touch my kids ever in your life. Like you can't whoop them, you can't spank them, you can't discipline them. Like I would do the discipline. I felt like, and I'm not going to sit here and say I was right or wrong. That was my way of doing things and I would do it again. Okay. I wasn't that type of mother that let a man come in and just put hands on my kids, because you don't know if y'all gonna be together tomorrow or not. And I don't care if we do the I do's, you still ain't putting your hand on my kids. Okay, that's just how I was. That's my rules. Not saying it's the right or wrong way, but no man was putting their hands on my children unless they were the father, biological father. Okay, so we bumped heads right away with that, because my husband, who grew up in the South, where they, you know, they don't spare a rod. They beat the child. Okay. And so I was just like, no, I was not for that at all. So I was like, nah, I'm not that type of parent. I would have rather stayed single than to let a man spank my kids. I would have stayed single till my kids was 18. And then once they was 18, I would have started dating again. If I came across a guy that said, no, I don't want to be with you because I can't discipline the kids. So that was just a criteria. Everybody got their own way of doing it. You understand what I'm saying? I've heard people say, well, if he helping feed my child, I'm going to let him discipline. I'm not even saying you wrong, sis. I'm not saying you wrong. I'm saying different strokes for different folks. That's just how I was. And I would have stayed that way if I needed to. She said, I don't blame you. They're like you and not the. She said, I don't blame you because they are like you and not the kids. I would rather be single before I stayed with a man just for the kids. Yeah, I understand. She said, okay. She said, I had an amazing stepdaddy. Okay. I don't think some, because after 4 months, I move on. 14 years, we're still together. Okay, so you saying you moved on after 4 months of your divorce? Okay. Mrs. Hurd said maybe he had a sex addiction. Maybe he did, or maybe he just enjoyed having sex with his wife. I don't know, man. You know, he had her ever since high school. Maybe she was the only one. Maybe she was the only woman that he's ever had sex with. It's possible. I know some of y'all think all men cheat, but all men don't cheat. All men really don't cheat. She says, I'm the same way. Don't put your hands on my kids. Exactly. Like, I'll discipline them. You tell me whatever you need to tell me. Either I'm going to do it or I'm going to call their father. You know what I'm saying? What about 18th year, 7 kids in what? What about 18th year, 7 kids in, I left. Oh, wow. So you're saying at 18 years and after 7 kids, you left? Damn, Yolanda. Whoo, girl, that's a bold move. 18 years and 7 kids. Wow. That's a bold move, sis. That is a bold move. And some men just want the mom. Exactly. I you know, because I've been married 3 times, you know, you think you get married and think you're gonna stay married forever, right? But you don't know that you're gonna stay married forever. So after my 3rd time, I was like, oh no, you know, I don't know if this is gonna work. You want it to work, you pray that it's gonna work, but you're like, no, I'm not about to let no man come in here and put their hand on my kids just for 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 years down the line. We get a divorce, and then boom. My kids grow up saying, oh, mama, you let him hit me. You let him. Oh, hell to the no. I'm not doing that. And then do you know how many boyfriends then beat the child, they girlfriend child either to death, they shook them to death or starved them to death or whatever the case may be. You have no control over my kids. Like, you're not, you know, and as I said out of my mouth, it probably wasn't the right thing to do, but you're not about to get that control over my kids. Nope, not happening. My son was already like 16 years old when we met, and my daughter was 6 years old. My daughter was 6 and my son was 16. Actually, I think my son was 17. Let me think. I think my son had turned 17 and my daughter was 6. And my daughter was my daughter was 6 and my son was 17. So it wasn't even no, you know, and you damn sure wasn't touching my daughter, like, But my son was already pretty much almost, you know, at the house. But my daughter, no, hell no, baby. My husband couldn't even go in my daughter's room without knocking or without me there. Like, I wasn't playing that type of shit. I just didn't do it. You can knock and hand, you know, my husband would hand her clothes. Like, you know, if he did laundry or something like that, he folded up her clothes. He would hand her clothes at the door. Right. But not that, you know, but I mean, I don't have nothing to worry about. My husband is not like that. But You just don't go into a relationship knowing they're not like that. You know, you hope they're not like that, but oh, hell to the no. And I don't even, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't approve of letting a man in your kid's room without you being there. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. Now, we there together, that's one thing. But them going in your kid's room by themselves, hell no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. I don't even want to have to ask you what were you doing or have them come tell. No. For what? Hell no. Not me. She said, I waited till my kids was grown and fell in love at 45. I'm 58 now and still in love with the great stepdaddy and grandpa to my grandkids. Okay, girl. I wouldn't let him discipline my kids, but you can be I wouldn't let him discipline my kids, but you can be a responsible person to give them structure. Yeah. She said, yeah, me neither. I don't even hit my kids. Yeah, my kids don't get whoopings. Now they used to. Well, my daughter not, but my son, he used to. I'm glad I never had to deal with that. I'm not being with no man who feels violence is a form of discipline for kids because I don't. Exactly. Now, I didn't know that at first, but once my son turned 10, I went to this parenting class and I learned. Now, I mean, it was on the military wives when back in the day when they used to actually have different classes for the military wives. I went to one and found out that you don't have to spank your kids. Actually, spanking your kids, I learned that it made them worse. So, but I grew up being spanked and I thought that was the way. But my son was 10 years old when I learned that that is not the way for my family. For my family is not the way. But my husband grew up being spanked and he thought that was the way too. But he could spank his kids all he wants to, just not mine. I had a guy stalked me and broke into my house after I left him. But thankfully, I fought back and screamed and somebody heard me and he ran. My dad and uncle found him. He called begging for me to call them off. So your daddy and your uncle gave him the business. Jazz says, if I was a man or if my kid, wait a minute, what now? If I was a man or if my man's kids live with us, I wouldn't want to discipline by hitting or being alone in the bedroom with them. Kids can lie and I would never want to be in a situation cause of a phase. Listen, I never, my husband has 3 children. And I've never laid a hand on not one of them and never will. They grown now though, but I've never laid my hands on any step kids. I've had 2 sets of step kids before and I've never spanked none of my step kids. I'm not putting my hand on somebody else's child. Nope. That's what your daddy for. That's what your mama for. I'm not putting my hands on nobody else's kid and ain't nobody else putting their hands on my kid. That's just the rules, baby. That was one of the things that me and my husband, we had to agree upon before we could move forward on the marriage because my husband didn't agree with me at first. And I'm like, oh, hell no. That's just the way it's going to be. He was like, what if I don't agree? Then we can't be together. I'm not agreeing to that. He was like, oh, you're unfair and, you're not right. That's not biblical. I don't give a damn. I told him that, y'all. I know y'all, hey, throw a spitball at me. But I was like, I don't give a damn. You're not putting your hand on my kids. At all. So she said, when I divorced, I didn't get into another relationship until they were older. Yep. No man couldn't even come to my house. Girl, I used to sneak them in, but I used to sneak their asses out before my son woke up, honey, because you was not about to get caught in the house with my son and say, Ma, who is that? Hell to the no. I wasn't trying to be explaining that. Ma, who is that? Oh, no way, Jose. Did y'all like so far the case today? Do y'all like this? Y'all like the breakdown of this case? We're not finished. We got to come back tomorrow, but let me know. Thumbs up if you like it so far. Thumbs up if you like this so far. She said, we never spanked my daughter. I feel like men's hands are too heavy. They are, especially for little girls. You better say that. She said, sons act like they're your dad sometimes. Sure do. They sure do. Okay, I'm hearing yes, but it's weird. Oh, you think the story is weird? She says, I added one more. Now is 8 and we've been together for 14 years, but my baby girl is his only child. Okay, so you left an 18-year relationship And now you're in a 14-year relationship with 8 kids. Wow, girl. You love marriage, huh? She said, yes, but it makes me sad. Not so many people in here. People want the drama. Oh, it's okay, Miss Heard. Look, let me tell you something. It is 170 people in here. Trust me when I tell you, when the drama's here, you get your 400 or 500s. You have to, the people that only want the drama, you have to understand, they will be fizzled out by other people that want to hear your content. You understand what I'm saying? So I already knew from over the weekend how amazing my weekend was, that I was not coming on here at 7 o'clock with no drama. Okay. Even though I got so many text messages, so many inboxes about, you know, things that went on over the weekend. And I was like, no drama at 7. I already knew that. And me and my husband had been discussing this case already for the last couple of days. And I was like, I want to present it on my panel. You know, me and Jade already started talking about it. And I was like, I want to present this case on my panel. And then we're going to break it down and we're going to go over it. And the reason why I wanted to do it so much is because, you know, we already looking at exes that can't move on. You know, we ain't even got to mention their names, but we got 3 of them that don't know how to just move on. They so worried about what their ex is doing. They just can't move on. Well, this guy falls right in place. Just don't know how to move on. You understand what I'm saying? You know, you got to find a way to be in her life some type of way. So I feel like it all ties in together. I don't know what's wrong with these men that just don't know how to move on. But I'm finding more and more that, damn, these men are, woo, honey, something serious. She said, the more them folks got on my nerve this weekend, I'm so happy this live was not about them. Yes, Kayshawn, I was 100% not going to make this live about anything that happened over the weekend, which, to be honest with you, I don't know everything that happened. Don't really want to know what everything that happened, but I just knew I had an amazing day and I wanted to come back with something different, okay? She said, it's another case like this. The baby daddy unalived the new boyfriend after stalking and following the mother and ever using their kids to stalk, and even using the kids to stalk. Damn, you use your kids to stalk? How? How you use your kids to stalk? How in the world can your kids be a stalker? She said, Amor, can we do a segment on dating in your 40s? It's tough out here. We need help. We can, but not right now, but we will one day. She said, I don't even know what happened, but I didn't have the energy for that this weekend. LOL. Listen, it's all good. Look, 100, 200 people. That's good. Trust me. It's good. Good. You know, listen, when I stopped the drama the first time, I only had 60 people in here. So to keep, you know, between 180 to 200 and something in here, that was pretty good. That's pretty good. I think the story is interesting. And I think when people start, because there are some people that said, Amora, I follow you, I support you, but I don't want to hear no drama. So when you stop the drama, I'll be back. So it's some people that's actually taking a break themselves because they don't want to hear about that drama no more. I mean, they don't mind drama. They just don't want to hear about that drama. You know what I'm talking about, that drama. Now, I ain't going to sit here and say that I'm never, ever going to mention it no more, but it's definitely not going to be my main meat, my entree. You understand what I'm saying? It's not going to be that's not going to be my bread and butter. It's not my bread and butter now, despite what anybody thinks. It's not my bread and butter. She said the baby daddy had the daughter putting phones in the mom's car to track her, and he would ask the daughter question. He was crazy. He just got sentenced. How old was the daughter? Send me that, Jazz. Send me that story in my inbox. I don't know what drama happened this weekend. I'm happy with this story. Thank you, girl. She said, Amor, it's a case in North Carolina. A man shoots his ex and kills his parent. Oh, nah. Was that North Carolina? Because I thought that was Georgia. I think I heard about that case. Y'all, after this case, though, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to do that one where that girl, the PhD, y'all know the one I'm talking about? She was a PhD student, and she stalked and unalived her ex-boyfriend that she only was dating for like 4 months anyway. So, you know, we rarely go in on the women. We rarely say how abusive, narcissistic, and just downright loony the females are. We always talking about the men. So we will be bringing that case of the PhD student that drove from Chicago to Washington. I think it was Chicago, but she drove to Washington, D.C. and unalived her ex-boyfriend after stalking him, for some months. And they were only together for a short time, so I don't know if he put it on her or what, but we'll be bringing that case as well. Okay? So, with that said, I got a coffee that came through, so let me go on and shout out who sent me a coffee. It was Shanita, thank you so very much for 3 coffees. I do appreciate that. Thank you so very much. I do appreciate it. She said, I seen that one or more. Yes, girl. We're going to do that one now. Come on now. You got brains and beauty. And she was beautiful. Beautiful and brains. You a PhD student and you running behind some Peter Jeter girl. Bye. She said, wow, was this a recent case? No, I think this happened in 2020, right? No, not 2020. Hold on. Let me tell you when that one happened. But that one's going to be after this one. It happened in, 2020. She'd already been sentenced and everything. But don't get ahead of me, y'all. I shouldn't even told y'all. We got to break the case down. We got to hear her testimony and everything to find out why in the world she did what she did, okay? She says, the more I'm going to get my name in green. Yay, Michelle. Thank you. I appreciate all the support that I'm receiving. I do. And welcome to the family. She said, I've been in the bushes with all of your stories, but I love every story you talk about. Now back to the bushes I go. Thank you, Bree. Appreciate you, love. She said, are you still doing the Joker killer story? Yeah, I am going to do the Joker killer story. I am. But, that story is very, very recent. Like, they literally, in the process of sentencing him. But I am going to do it. But I want to do this one. Then I want to do the female because we don't do females. So I'm going to do this one. Then we're going to do the female, the PhD student, which her name is, girl, I don't even know how to pronounce her name. Let me just drop it in. Her last name is Dix, D-I-X. But this is how you say her name. I have no idea. I gotta hear them say it again. It's Ninjing, Niska. I don't know how to say her name. But anyway, Dix, okay? D-I-X was the PhD student that unalives her ex-boyfriend because she couldn't be with him no more. She said, can I get the coffee link again? Do I have any moderators in here? I don't even think any moderators in here. They probably just left. Let me see if I can grab the coffee link. I ain't even drop it because, honey, let me tell y'all something. When I say y'all have blessed me this month, y'all have totally blessed me this month, okay? So I was like, I can go the rest of the month without dropping anything. But if you want to send me a coffee, you sure can. I will drop the link, but y'all don't have to because y'all have totally blessed me this month. I'm grateful, forever grateful. Where is the coffee link? Oh, here you go right here. Hold on 1 second. I'll drop it. You guys don't have to do it if you don't want to, but I'll drop it just in case you want to. Because, we about to end the month in 4 days, and I'm telling you, I already reached, I already beat my goal. So you guys are amazing, okay? Absolutely amazing. She said, I'll give a membership out. Good luck. Thank you, Robbie, for gifting that membership. Appreciate you, Robbie. Who got it? Who got the membership? Let me know. She said, do you know the Ronnie O'Neill case in Florida? He also served as his own lawyer. He unalived the mother. Yes. That crazy ass dude with the spiked up hair. Yes, do I? Yes, I remember that dude. He was screaming and yelling in court. What you about to hear? What you about to witness? I'm like, oh my God, what is wrong with this dude? Yes, I do remember that. I don't know the whole story, but I know he was found guilty. But I can look into that one if you want me to. I know that he tried to do exactly what this guy tried to do, and that's manipulate his son on the stand, which I thought was freaking crazy. Like, I don't understand why they put these people through that. They should never be able to cross-examine the person that they manipulated and abused. Oh my God. She said he represented himself in court and lost. Sure did. Most of the time, people that represent themselves do lose. you know? She was beauty and only dated him for 3 months, got on a plane with a gun and everything. When did they get strict on weapons on the plane? It was before 2020. I don't know how she got on the plane. Now you can pack a weapon underneath your bag, I think. But I don't think that you, I think, can you? I think you can pack it in your bag. I don't think that you can get on with it in your, wait a minute, no you can't. I don't know if you can or not. Let me see. Can you take a weapon? Hold on. Okay, let me see. Yeah, you can. Okay, so check baggage you can, but it has to be in a hard-shelled, locked case. So everybody weapon should have a case that it come with anyway. Like we got a nice little case for our weapon. It has to be in there, and it has to be a hard shell case, and it has to be in your check-in. Okay. She said, Amor, it's just something about you. You are a leader. I love your style. And when you first started, I was on your team. They can't handle your style and grace. Thank you so much, Michelle. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. Thank you. She said, you must declare with TSA. Okay. My cousin husband unalived her last year, then unalived himself after he unalived his sister and her kids in Memphis. Good Jesus. Why take the sister? What the sister done did to you, nah? I don't be understanding that. Let me tell you something. I don't, for the life of me, understand why somebody takes somebody else's life, then turn around and take their own. Why you didn't take your own first? If you're gonna do something like that, you know, I'm not with the violence or the, you know, I'm not with the or advocating for anybody unaliving themselves. But if you're gonna do it anyway, why don't you do that first? You know what I mean? Don't make no sense. You're gonna take somebody else with you. Is that the one where he stabbed the son too, and the son testified as well? Yep, the son testified. Sure did. The son testified. Y'all know what case I would love to do, but it's old. It's very, very old. And I would have to write it down if y'all wanted me to do it. But y'all know that lady that got sent to prison for 20 years for just doing a warning shot in the air. Do y'all remember that one? It was a sister girl. That girl got 20 years. Let me see. I think they went back and gave her, reduced it. Hold on. Did they overturn it? Let me see. Okay, so she's been released. Okay, so she was released. Okay, she was sentenced to 20 years in 2012, and the judge released her in 2017. So she did 5 years. Okay. So her husband, I can, if y'all want me to tell y'all that story, I will. But her husband was abusing her, and she literally wanted him to stop, and she fired a warning shot in the air, right? And they gave her 20 years in jail. And the reason being is because, like, she did it to scare her husband. But when you do things like that, when you just take your weapon and fire up, and I want to say she may have lived in an apartment. No, she actually lived in a house. I don't know if she lived in an apartment or a house at this point. But it can endanger other people because it can ricochet. It can ricochet or whatever, and it can hit somebody unintentionally. So the fact that they gave her that was more so because of the lack of worrying about other people, the lack of concern for other people, because it actually could have hurt someone, and it didn't hurt no one. She said, I never heard of that. You never heard of that one? Yeah, she's out now, yes. So it said that she was released in 2017. They gave her 20 years, and she tried to do a stand your ground. They rejected the stand your ground, but she was released in, I think, 2017. Hold on. Let me see when she was released. Hold on. She went to jail in 2012. but her conviction was overturned. She faced another trial. And I'm trying to see the year she was released. I want to say 2017. I think it was 2017, or was it 2015? Maybe it was 2015. So she only did 3 years. She either did 3 years or 5 years. I will have to do more research. She said, where's she from? Florida. Florida with all them damn rules. Florida. It was Florida. She said to avoid accountability for what they did. Did you see the one where the white neighbor shot the black neighbor through the door? Yes, girl. Yes. I talked about it a little bit on the panel, but woo, child, the level of Karen-ship that they gave her in the interrogation room was just ridiculous. But yes, honey, that lady thought she was about to do some self-defense, stand your ground. That shit happened in Florida too. What's up with Florida, y'all? What is up with Florida? This lady, yes, y'all, I got so many stories for y'all. Yes, she shot a lady through her door. She shot her through the door and thought that she was about to do a stand your ground. Lord, child, I don't understand what's up with Florida. First of all, that stand your ground probably was one of the worst things that they did because it gave people the balls, right, to think that they can unalive somebody and get away with it. Like literally, like, come on, right? She said, I'm just joining. Don't know if you've seen the story of Kiara Massenberg here in North Carolina. Just happened a couple of weeks ago. Send it to me in my inbox, Vita. Thank you, baby. She said, Amore, have y'all heard about a 34? Let me tell y'all something. Y'all got so many stories. This is what I'm talking about. Send me those stories in my inbox or even email them to me. See, this right here, I love it. This is a beautiful thing. I don't have to worry about, that other crap. This is plenty already to keep me busy for the next week or two. What all the stories that you guys are dropping right now, this is enough to keep me busy. This is content, baby. Y'all giving me content. This is real content, not that going back and forth with content creators, all that little beef or whatever. That is not content. That's clown show shit, okay? That is not content. Say it with me. Clown show shit. Clown show shit. That is not content, okay? So with that said, y'all have a lot that y'all want to hear about, and I am here to tell you about it. She said, More covered this case about the guy who unalived his mom, his cousin's baby. I know he went on the shopping spree, didn't he? I heard about that. I didn't cover it because, we was too busy yapping with them other folks. Okay, Luck. Thank you, girl. She says, thanks, Robbie, for the membership. Just came back to my phone. I appreciate it. Thank you, Luck. Appreciate you for being a member. Hopefully, after this free membership, you will jump on board and become a part of the family permanently and get your membership. For those that don't have your membership, we need to turn y'all green. What's up with that? Everybody need to be green, green, green. Green, green, and more green. Let me hear you say green, green, and more green. Hey, green, green, and more green. Green, green, and more green. That's what we need to be focusing on. More green, baby. Who ain't green? I ain't gonna point you out. I ain't gonna point you out. So what about the old white man that shot a little boy because he knocked on his door? Good Lord, Lorraine, Jesus. Because he knocked on the door, he need to be in jail. Peace for All said that's in your ground is B in Florida. Us black folks going to be effed up. Wait a minute, what? Say that again. Peace for y'all. Peace for all. Say that again. Say that again because I don't understand what you're trying to say. She said, I sent the story about the boy unaliving his favorite cousin because he wanted to be more than cousins and she wasn't going for hit. Yeah, I seen that. I seen it, but I didn't talk on it. She says, no, one of them is my cousin. Which one your cousin, Sharonda? Which one of them was your cousin, baby? The baby mama was my cousin? On which story? Tomorrow, I don't think that you lose your color. I wanted to upgrade my membership, but I don't want to lose my color. I'm almost red. I don't think you lose your color. The stand your ground is the worst thing for us black folks here in Florida. Oh, that's what you were saying. Listen, I agree with you. I don't know if that was actually a good thing because I think it got these trigger happy people, trigger finger happy people, you know, wanting to just unalive some people that probably already wanted to unalive somebody. Yeah. Because you can literally be like, oh, I was in fear for my life. You know what I mean? So yeah, no, I don't know about that. But they got it. They got them in more states now to stand your ground than just Florida. From what I think I heard, I think they got them in more states now. Stand your ground. I'm coming back green. It was a lot going on in these YouTube streets. I didn't know which way to go. Well, thanks for coming back green, baby. I appreciate you. The story where the boy unalived his mama, cousin, and baby mama. Oh, the baby mama was your cousin? Oh, man. I mean, is that going to be too touchy to talk about for you, Sharonda? Let me know. She said, your inbox about to be flooded. Hey, I need me an assistant. Put it on the calendar. She said, the worst thing ever, stand your ground in Florida. That is a racist state. Yes, I think so too. Stand your ground is the cover story. Yeah, it's a cover. It's a cover. It's absolutely a cover. Stand your ground. Stand your ground, my butt. Oh, it's not in Michigan? Okay. Let me see if it's in Texas. I don't even know. I only been here for a little bit. Let me see. Might be good to know. Texas red too, ain't it? Stand your ground. Let me see. Does Texas have it? Yes, honey. It says Texas is indeed a stand your ground state, allowing individuals to defend themselves when they perceive a threat to their life or safety. See, I don't like that perceive because that is so misleading. You can literally say, I fear for my life. I perceived a threat. And, oh my God, that's just, yeah. She said this law absolves individuals from the duty to retreat before using force in self-defense. So that means that you don't have to retreat. Oh my God. See, oh my goodness. She said, I'm done with homework. I'll stay up and look up stories. Okay, Jen, look at you, my assistant girl. Look at you. She said, green, green, and more green. Let me hear you say green, green, and more green. Hey, green, green, and more green. Green, green, and more green. I wish I could turn it blue because blue is my favorite color. She said, yes, that's why I hadn't been on here a lot. My family is really going through a lot. Oh, Sharon, I'm so sorry to hear that. So sorry to hear that. She said, Ohio is a stand your ground. Ohio is a stand your ground? What even goes on in Ohio? Ohio is a stand your ground? Oh, my goodness. I thought that was more like a Southern thing. So Ohio is a stand your ground. Wow. I was a jury on a murder trial involving stand your ground. Oh, were you? I'm sure it's tricky, huh? Cutesy. She said, right, I know a lady that shot through her front door when someone was trying to break in her home. Nothing happened to her. Well, now, if somebody's trying to break in your home, that's one thing. But somebody just cussing at you on the other side of your door, which the black girl in Florida did. She was, saying, bring your ass outside and da-da-da-da-da. And the white lady shot her, and now she's in prison, okay? She's in prison because she shot that black girl and thought she was going to get away with it. That white lady literally thought that what she did was justified. The lady wasn't even trying to get in her home, you know. But at the same time, y'all can't be going to somebody's house talking shit now. Don't just pull up on somebody wanting to talk shit. You might have your life taken from you. You know what I mean? I just think both ways. People just need to mind their business. You know what I'm saying? Especially in your neighborhood. I am not going up to my neighbor's house if we fighting, if we arguing. I'm not coming to your door. No, I'm not coming to your door at all. I don't know what you're gonna do to me. I don't know what you're gonna do to me, and I'm not coming to your door. Plus, I don't want to be mean to my neighbor. Neighbors are supposed to be nice to each other. I don't want no mean neighbor. I don't want to not like my neighbor. We don't have to be best friends or even, friends at all, but I don't want us to hate each other. You don't know when you may need that neighbor. You know what I mean? For anything. So I don't want to be not neighborly with my neighbors. Well, when I say not neighborly, we ain't got to be over each other's house, but I don't want to be in, feeling no tension with my neighbors. Nah, that's not me. She said that was premeditated with her old ass. Look, it may have been premeditated because where'd she get the gun from, honey? I guess the gun was sitting right by the door. She said, let me go on in this closet right here and pull this gun out since this girl gonna come over my house thinking she biggity bad. She shot right through the door and she was sentenced. I think that lady may have gotten life. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see how many years she got. Either 20 years or life, but it's a long time to be 60 years old and sentenced to prison. Hold on. I think did she get life? Let me see. It said the jury convicted the white Florida woman in shooting death of her neighbor. She was 60 years old and she got, let me see, what did she get? Oh, okay. So she was just found guilty, but they haven't sentenced her yet. She faces up to 30 years in prison. Damn. She faces up to 32 years. And guess what? They only spent 2.5 hours deliberating, which means that, it didn't even take long. 2.5 hours and they came back guilty. She claimed self-defense. She fired one shot with a .380 caliber handgun through her front door last year, June, and she killed a 35-year-old for cussing and carrying on outside her door. And she said she was pounding on her door. She said, I panicked and I thought, oh my God, she's really going to kill me this time. So the white lady thought that she was going to kill her, and she shot one time through the door, killing a 35-year-old woman. And she faces up to 60 years. Let me see when her sentence date is. She is going to be sentenced in when is her sentence date? I don't see it, but she was found guilty. I don't see the sentence date. I want to say I read it somewhere and it was in October. I think she's supposed to get sentenced in October. I don't know. But yeah, that's crazy. Some more. I watched the whole case. The lady was racist and miserable and privileged. Oh, wow. Robbie, for real? I didn't know she was a racist. I know she didn't like the black kids playing outside her house. But my thing is, how can you be a racist and you live in a low-income area with the black folk? If you live in the neighborhood, in a low-income neighborhood with the black folk, you might as well be trying to get along. How you gonna be racist? Okay. It was mistaken identity, and he is walking right now. My uncle killer is walking right now, enjoying life while he killed my uncle. Now, is that fair? Well, I mean, is your uncle killer a cop? She said, more see New York comment. Did you get it? New York? Who is New York? Oh, you said see my. Okay, I sent you a story that is trending about a mother of 4 gunned down by a boyfriend in Atlanta. The shooting caught on door cam. Yes, I'm going to go over that one. Yes, I saw that one too. That's crazy because I heard she begged him, no, please, not right here. Please, not right here. Please, not right here. Like not in front of my house or whatever. So yeah, I'm going to do that one too. I don't know all about that one, but I heard she stole some stuff from him. She said, update, August the 16th, 2024, an all-white jury of Ocala, Florida found the 60-year-old lady guilty after 2.5 years. She faces up, she faces up to 30 years. But when is her sentencing, though? Yeah, she was found guilty by all-white jury, but she only wanted 6. She didn't even have a 12-panel jury, which I didn't even know you can only have 6, but she had 6 white people. They only did a 6-man jury. And all 6 found her guilty within 2.5 hours. And her lawyer asked for, well, he didn't ask, but your attorney get to interview who would be on the jury, and they selected an all-white panel, so 6 white people, and they still found her guilty. Yeah, I do think that she thought she was going to get away with it because, she showed no emotions when they said guilty. She was like shocked, like what type of America am I living in? Let me stop. Let me get off this live. Listen, it's already been 3 hours and 46 minutes. Let me get off. Thank y'all so very much. Hold on. I do think somebody else sent the coffee in. I don't want to not give you your recognition. Give me 1 second. It was, the app is opening. Mrs. Hurd, thank you. She said you were made for this, so enjoyed our lives. Thank you so very much, Mrs. Hurd. I appreciate you. I do. Thank y'all for stopping in. Thanks for those that joined the membership. Thanks for those that gift a membership. I do appreciate y'all. I will be back tomorrow. Listen, we have to finish this tomorrow. We stopped off at... Hold on, let me see what we stopped off at. I think it was around 56 minutes. Hold on 1 second.
I'm sorry, I just lost my train of thought.
Hold on 1 second.
When you discuss that he is upset about the divorce.
Okay. So 56 minutes. We're going to start at the 56-minute mark, okay? Love y'all so very much. Hit that thumbs up button on the way out, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.